Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Section 10 Podcast. Here are your hosts, Jared Carabas, Coley Mick, and Pat Light.
What's up, and welcome back to the Section 10 Podcast, episode 445, presented by Barstool Sports. It is the home of your eliminated in 6 games in the ALCS Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carabas, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Pat Light, and he had a 23 ERA with the Red Sox, and you can't teach that. Bada boom. Realest guys in the room. Gary, how you doing?
What up, what up? Section 10 in the building.
In the motherfucking building. Not presented by any particular beer company.
Suck one.
Welcome. If you're watching this on the brand new Section 10 YouTube channel, I just realized that when we do the opening for the podcast, that I can kind of just like leave like a split second gap for the Gary audio. But now I'm going to have to, like, in my head, hear the Gary audio so that when it gets dropped in on the YouTube channel that we don't have to, like, freeze frame the part where Gary's talking, if that makes sense. That was heads up by me, Jake, right?
Kudos to you.
Or we could get Gary to send in a video of him saying it.
We could do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that as well. Maybe we will. Christmas is in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, are you excited for the holiday season?
I'm very excited for the holiday season.
Okay. You seem like a big Christmas guy.
Love Christmas. Big fan.
Okay.
I have several different devices in my houses at all times playing Christmas music.
So you're like too much Christmas, I think.
No, I just want like if you were to go to the bathroom, you're gonna have some nice, light, smooth jazz Christmas being played in the background.
Smooth jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Always smooth jazz.
Okay. Coley, this is your second Christmas as a dad?
Yeah.
What, I mean, like at this point, your daughter still, she doesn't know what Christmas is quite yet.
No.
She doesn't know that 2 days from now she's getting a bunch of presents.
No, and like she doesn't even care about the presents. Like she'll play with all the wrapping paper, she'll play with the boxes,
She's
the
a
presents. She's an idiot, yeah. Yeah, it's a tiny moron. Cute, but just truly a disgrace.
Mm-hmm. By what age do kids start paying attention to Christmas presents?
I think it's 3. I think next year she'll be locked in.
Right. But then you just have like another idiot coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, that one's, I mean, not a lot of hope for that one. No reason to believe.
Congratulations on that, Coley, by the way.
Thank you, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
I said congratulations.
Yeah, you said it when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I knew before the behind the blog announcement?
Well before.
Yeah. That's why, like, I feel like I knew so far in advance of, like, the official announcement that I thought that you were having a third kid. I was like, there's no chance that, like, I feel like he already had the second one. Now this is, like, the third one.
Yeah, it was. I told you when we were driving to the gambling house.
All right, dude. All right, we get it. You have aardvarks. There's no need to flex this close to the holiday season. Pat, I don't know if you knew this about Coley. This is one of those things where, during the course of the season, it's like we would record late at night, which is when Coley does most of his farming. But he, for whatever reason, lets the farm animals into his house at certain points. I would assume that it's probably like a Christmas tradition dating back to like his great grandfather, where during the holiday season that they would bring all the different animals inside of the house, because I feel like this is the first time since the season ended that Coley has brought the animals into the house.
But yeah, I think it was when we were driving to the gambling house, which behind the blog aired in December. So yeah, that would be 2 months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when you're not supposed to, my sister just had a kid. I think when you're supposed to announce it, 16 weeks or something like that?
There's like a point, I can't remember the exact week, but there's like a point where percentage, like chance of miscarriage, like drops substantially. That's when you're like quote unquote in the clear. Obviously things can go poorly at any time. Even after they're born, like bad things can happen. People forget about that, but
imagine not announcing that you have a kid until they're like 3.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah, we're in the clear, I think. I don't mind that. Speaking of which, I have a 5-year-old daughter. Just wanted to make that announcement. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas to her.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to my daughter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's her name?
Sandra.
Sandra.
Yes. Big
Sandra. What's
Grease
middle name?
fans. Middle name?
Yeah.
Clarissa.
Sandra Clarissa.
Mm-hmm. Flows right off the tongue. Yeah.
Carabas.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. At the SCC. Right? Yeah.
You named her.
Yeah, well, obviously I fucking know that, dude. I just said it. I just said her name.
Has your mother met Sandra?
No. No.
Well, you just announced it, so
we want her to kind of be her own person before.
Of course.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, I mean that makes total sense.
Yeah. Mitch Moreland was on Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that, Jake?
I did see it. I tweeted it and I posted it.
There you go. Jake's fucking all over that shit. Mitch Moreland.
Jake's doing a great job.
There were a lot of people, by the way, that were like very upset that they said Mitchie 4 bags instead of Mitchie 2 bags. And I mean, the original version of the nickname was for sure it was Mitchie 2 bags. Like it was that's how it came in. But once he started hitting homers instead of doubles, anytime that he had a big home run, he was Mitchie 4 bags. So I get that they probably should have done Mitchie 2 bags. But the amount of people that were chiming in, like Mitchie 4 bags was this foreign concept that had never been used before, was absolutely bizarre, wildly insane.
It would have been great, though, if one of the contestants was like, I was going to say Mitch Moreland, but I only know him as 2 bags. And
Yeah.
They just fought the corpse of Alex Trebek in front of America.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was cool to see. It led to I got to talk to Mitch that night because I posted the video and then he saw it and he responded. So we had a quick little correspondence. Mitch Moreland, one of the nicer or nicest guys that I think I've ever come across in professional baseball. I would love to see a reality TV show with Mitch Moreland and like JD Drew. Just seeing them exist. Like a hunting show.
Right, yeah. It would for sure be a hunting or fishing show. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Are you a
Very few
fishing
words.
guy, Pat?
Under no circumstances, no.
Why?
Actually, well, let's take that back. Not under no circumstances. I just haven't done it. I've heard it's very relaxing and a nice day out in the lake or that type of thing. But no, I have never done it.
I could do fishing. I can't do hunting. I love animals too much. Like the content that like White Sox Dave was doing where they're just fucking blasting holes in innocent animals. Like I get that, you gotta, that's how food is prepared. But I can't I can't do the whole like posing with the dead bloody animal stuff. Like I'll go to Stop and Shop, head on down to Stop and Shop. I can do that and pick up a package of meats. But I can't do the trophy.
I can't get on board
thing.
with the blatant cheating that humans do. And it's not cheating; we're just smarter. But like just feeding the deer in like one area for the entire, and then when it becomes hunting season, just going to that area because they've been trained to be there now, and now shooting them. I was like, okay. Like,
okay.
Again, we're smarter, so I get it. We're winning because of that, but it just feels wrong to me.
Yeah. Humans are just running up the score at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is not fair. But it is what it is. Not that I've ever... What do you get from...
Do you find fishing more fair as a concept?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know of a way that people do it where they can cheat like that.
Big fucking nets. Just
big nets.
Yeah, big nets just running alongside the boat. It's like, you didn't even try. You just netted them.
I also like if you put them in like a very small lake and you just put a bunch of fish in there and then you just go fish them. I guess that's cheating.
Yeah.
But like deep sea fishing that I see seems fair to me.
Imagine just like if we only had to depend on like one rod and like one line, just one guy out there plucking fish out of the ocean one at a time with the fish. But you could probably charge $1,000 for a fucking salmon. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
Aren't salmon like huge? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think I know tunas are huge.
Tuna are huge, sharks. And possibly not alive anymore.
Possibly. But I don't think salmons are that big because I always see them like in those videos where they're jumping over the waterfall, the opposite direction, and bears are sitting there catching them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's true.
I don't think salmons are that big.
Are there ocean salmon? It's salmon. Salmon is
that's
the plural.
I'm not sure if ocean salmon are bigger.
What's the difference between a salmon and an ocean salmon if they're both in the ocean?
One's bigger.
Well, one wasn't in the ocean.
What? There's salmon that aren't in the ocean?
I think there are two different types, I believe.
Like freshwater salmon?
Right, yeah. Those are the bare ones.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's ocean. I might be wrong. That's entirely possible.
Definitely possible.
Not a fish guy.
I'm a huge fish guy.
Yeah?
I like fish.
You know who else is a big fish guy? Fucking Mike Napoli.
Afro Man?
Well, he's a Florida guy.
Julio?
I mean, yeah, Florida guy. Florida guys fucking love fishing. I don't know what it is about Florida and fish. But they just fucking... Maybe because they're surrounded by water. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could see that.
They got boats.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Maine's a big seafood place.
Oh, big time.
Is it entirety of New England, yeah.
Okay.
New England for sure is
of course
big seafood. I've never fit in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a seafood guy, Coley?
No.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
It's not good.
What? You live in Maine. Why did you move to Maine if you don't like seafood?
They offer other types up here.
No.
They serve other dishes.
Yeah, they've got the other foods as well.
At Coley's wedding, they offered lobster or steak, and I said both.
Jared's the only one. Well, that was the rehearsal dinner.
Rehearsal dinner.
And you were the only person to get both.
That's right.
Because you had such a hectic travel schedule, I allowed it. Yeah. I built that into the budget. Yeah, we served lobster at the rehearsal dinner, and we had lobster rolls that I heard were unreal at the reception. So yeah, I like lobster too. Like, don't even get me started. Like, lobster isn't good. If you tried to eat lobster by itself, you'd throw up.
What do you
You
mean?
don't like you like butter. You don't like lobster.
No.
No.
I can eat
Yeah.
the fuck out of lobster without butter.
You never have. Never. Not once.
Yes, I probably have. I
Definitely
probably
not.
have.
For sure not.
I can promise you I have.
And you like
And
it?
it was-
It's
you
better
just-
with butter,
Yeah, that's
but I
that-
still like. I think lobster is overrated. I will give you that, Coley.
correct.
I think it is
Fuck is
entirely.
wrong with
I think
both
it's-
of you.
I think lobster is delicious, but I think what people make it out to be is okay, like gold. It's not that
Right.
good.
People act like it's
good.
like the preeminent dining experience, which is insane to me. Insane.
Here's the thing. If I had one last meal, if they were like, you're gonna die tonight, but at 6 p.m. you can have any meal you want, I would be like, give me 20 fucking lobsters. And I'd eat them all. I would eat them all.
Well, yeah, because there's not that much food in 20 lobsters. That's why you could eat it all.
Are you lobster shaming me?
No, I'm lobster shaming everyone. It's a bad choice for food.
No. I would.
If lobsters were land animals,
Mhm.
would you ever consider eating them?
I don't give a fuck if it's on.
So
the
why
land
don't
or-
you eat grasshoppers? Why don't you eat crickets? Why don't you eat fucking roaches?
They don't.
they're all the
taste like
same.
lobster.
You don't know that. You've never eaten them.
I will say, if the lobster was, this is a valid point from McMahon. If the lobster was on the ground, it would be weird for me. Like, why would I ever want to eat that fucking thing? But I don't
Because
see it.
we have those. We have invertebrates with exoskeletons that walk around on ground, and people do not eat them.
But they're not as big as lobsters. Like if you ate a cricket,
Fucking
it's like
some
a
of them
snack.
are.
A cricket would be a snack. A lobster is a damn meal.
Don't the mariners serve crickets?
Yeah, it's a snack.
I wouldn't know.
I don't think anyone's
they
like
have-
plopping down, being like, "Let's have a meal of crickets."
People eat bugs. Like there are people who do it.
Oh yeah, especially in Seattle. I don't know what the fuck their problem is.
What was people were talking about when we were supposed to get murdered? Excuse me, murdered by all those cicadas last summer. People were like, "Yeah, let's just fucking eat them," and a lot of people didn't, which more speaks to my point that they're cowards and two-faced.
What about murder hornets?
I don't know if they fall under the same.
No, but I'm just saying
umbrella.
like, they were supposed to kill us first, right?
Yeah, they were supposed to be the big bad. It was like them plus COVID originally were supposed to take us out. But yeah, murder hornets were a bluff. Unless they're listening, I don't want to offend.
You know what happened with murder hornets is that the timing was terrible. They basically announced that they were going to come kill us all at the time that everyone was inside.
Yeah.
Poor timing on the announcement.
Terrible timing.
But I will also say the people in charge of getting them under control, they should have probably been in charge of this whole coronavirus thing. We'd be fine.
Yeah.
They were tracking the fuck out of those things. They were trapping them. They were hunting them. Like they got that murder hornet shit. They smothered them quickly.
I'd like to sit at the table at a murder hornet meeting. Like
Mhm.
what are you so fucking mad about? Like
Try and
who-
talk them down.
Yeah, like who is the ringleader of murder hornets that's like, we need to rise up and take back what's ours? Like, what do you not have now that you wish you did have that you think humans have control over that we wouldn't just give to you in exchange for peace?
Voting rights, yeah.
You think murder hornets should have the right to vote?
I'm not saying whether it's right or not. I'm saying is that what they want?
That could be. If you, let's say, because there are people that commit murder in this country, serve a prison sentence, and then are later released. Do you have the right to vote when you come
I
out?
don't believe so, no.
You don't.
I don't think so.
So then why would murder hornets think that they can vote?
I mean, have they killed just because it's in their name?
Then, okay, so they're either fraudulent or ineligible to vote. Which one would you rather be?
Well, did they create their name? Who named them?
That's true. That's a good point. I feel like humans probably name them murder hornets.
Yeah,
So maybe they're
if you're any other species of animal probably calls us murder people. Like that's all they ever see us do.
I guess, but I feel like most other species that are paying attention to what humans are doing are also doing the same because unless they're herbivores.
Yeah, which is a lot of them.
Like giraffes are just straight chilling. They don't give a fuck what we do.
You would think.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that leopards can just straight up bring their food up a tree? They can just put whatever animal they want in their mouth and climb a tree, and they just chill at the top of trees, just waiting to pounce on people.
Seems like a leopard thing to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd be
I'm
more
a big
afraid
animal
of-
doc guy.
Animal doc guy?
Mm-hmm. Big
What
time. So
what animal docs you got going on?
I don't know. Nothing right now. They haven't really come out with new ones that I've seen, at least.
Mhm.
But big animal doc. Like I love the stuff where they follow things in the
Planet
African
Earth.
safari. Yep,
And
Planet
Planet
Earth.
Earth.
And then I love big fan of space docs.
Space.
That's probably my number one doc.
Is it called space or just docs about
No, that's not the
space?
name of the doc. Just
Okay.
things about space. Space is just fucking mind blowing to me.
I see, like, I feel like there's no possible way to know everything about space, but I feel like we probably know as much as we're gonna know about space. So I don't need new
Well-
docs. Unless you have
I-
mind-blowing information. I feel like most space docs are just recycled information from shit that we learned in preschool. And then they're like, all right, yeah, Pluto's a planet. Just kidding. No, it's not. It's a planet. No, it's not. Like, first of all, fuck Pluto. This is an anti-Pluto podcast, and it has been for years. But I feel like the people that narrate space docs are so condescending and they just pretentious. They just have that like I'm better than you attitude, and that's why I don't like space docs. They're always like, check out this fucking huge universe. You can't even process how big the universe is because it goes on forever. It's like, yeah, dude, we get it. Like, it's not your universe. Like, you would think that the narrator is showing you their penis, being like, check out the size of this fucking cock. And it's like, dude, the universe doesn't belong to you. Why are you bragging about the size of it? We get it. It's huge.
You know, I gotta say, I didn't see me bringing up space docs going that way.
Mm-hmm. That's just how I feel about them.
Okay.
Like space docs, I don't know, Coley, are you a space doc guy? I feel like you're fucking gonna cry about my criticism of space docs.
Space terrifies me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. I'm usually high, so like the thought of space just terrifies me, and puts me in a mindset I don't care for. I've seen like remember when IMAX first came out, because we're old and we got to experience stuff like that. Like one of the first things they had was a rocket launch, and my father took us to go, and it was like one of the more scarring experiences of my life. It was horrifying. But yeah, space is, I don't understand you saying we know everything we're ever gonna know. That feels like a wild.
I mean, like
That's
in
like
terms
being
of-
like
in
you
terms of
yelling at
major
Galileo.
breakthrough information, like they'll always be like, "Oh, well, this fucking asteroid just missed Earth by like 100,000 miles, and that was a close one." And like, "Oh, we discovered this new fucking dick slap star, and it burned out." It'll always be useless information that no one cares for. It'll never be like breaking news. We learned this major detail about the existence of the universe and our solar system. Like, we get it. We know. I feel like we know every major detail.
All the major
that we're
details.
going to know.
Now,
Sure.
you and me, or all of human being until we.
I mean,
all die?
NASA's sketch. NASA's sketch as fuck. Didn't NASA start as ocean exploration, and then they just switched up and we're like, we're rebranding to space.
Well, I think that was Cold War fueled.
Either that or they found some alien shit in the ocean and they were like, all right, well, what's up there if this is what's going on down there?
I mean, yeah, the ocean blows space out of the water. When it comes to things that interest me more, I don't disagree with you there, but I don't think that makes them sketchy.
Oh, NASA's very sketch. You're telling me right now that you think that NASA has told the general public all the information that they've ever obtained?
No.
That's pretty
No one's
sketch.
saying that.
Is it? Have you told the general public all the information you've ever received?
I mean, if they
Sketch.
asked, you got to ask the right questions. If the general
Have you
public is
asked-
saying, if the
The general public
is
has
saying,
not
like, hey,
asked NASA.
oh, yes, we do all the time. Hey, what's the fucking deal with space, man? Tell us.
I would. That would be like me asking you, "How are you doing?" and expecting you to empty the tank.
Usually
Everything
I do.
You know.
Usually, do I not usually do that, Coley?
No.
Yes, I do. I feel like anytime that you're like, hey, what's going on? I'll be like, all right, how much time you got?
I'm not the general public.
You're not the Gen Pop, but
No.
I feel like someone off the street isn't going to be like, hey,
So,
man, like.
In your
what's going on?
scenario, to equate it to what you're saying, I would be like the president calling up NASA and being like, "Hey, what the fuck's happening right now?" And like you'd be compelled to tell. If fucking some Johnny Short Dick on the street walked up to you and was like, "Hey, Jared, how you doing?" You'd be like, "I'm all right. What's up, man?" You wouldn't be like, "Oh, let me tell you about this fucking
Honestly,
dilly of a pickle I got myself in right now."
You don't know that. I went to Angela's coal-fired pizza on Friday.
Of course.
And I walked in with my buddy, and the hostess was like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And I was like, "Fucking terrible." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm just tired of answering that question being like, everything's great if everything's not great." I was like, "Everything's fucking terrible right now. And can we get a table for two?" Yes. And I was honest.
But you didn't tell her why things
She
were
didn't
terrible?
ask. If she had asked why, I would have gone into detail. But she didn't ask why. She was just like,
I think
I'm sorry to hear that. And I was like, yeah, I bet you are.
I think NASA overshares.
No. The reason why I think that we know all that we probably are going to know is that don't you think that like Donald Trump of all people would have just blurted out all of the secret alien secrets by now?
No, because I don't think he was ever listening.
Nor do I think they actually ever told him. Probably.
Yeah, that's what I think is that they probably didn't trust him enough to tell him.
Didn't he cut a bunch of their budget like immediately? Like, wasn't that one of the first things he did?
I think the president is one of the more overrated positions. I don't think he has nearly as much power as people think he does.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would
I think
definitely
he's just
agree
a
with
figurehead.
that. I wish they told him all the secrets because I know that he would just fucking tell that he would weaponize the secrets.
For sure.
He'd be like, I'm going to
Which is probably
expose
why they didn't do it.
the JFK conspiracy. I'm going to tell you if we really have been to the moon. Has anyone ever asked him his thoughts on if we've been to the moon? Do you think we've been to the moon, Pat?
I haven't done a tremendous amount of research on that particular
It's
thing.
a yes
but,
or no fucking question. In the
Okay,
in
well,
the,
we don't
in
need
the
to curse.
60s, in the 60s when we
69.
couldn't even figure out a fucking a television with color, we
They
figure
had
out how
color
to get
TV in the 60s.
Nope.
I believe we have been to the moon. Yes.
No. The original.
Yes.
You think we fucking went to the moon, the original moon landing.
There has been some interesting points brought up to me as to why we wouldn't have gone, but yeah, I believe that.
You
we
think
did.
Buzz Lightyear was up there in 69?
No, I don't think Buzz Lightyear.
I will say, Buzz Aldrin and I think John Glenn, like, if you question them, they just beat the shit out of you every...
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that makes me believe them. Like, no one would get that mad if they were, like, lying about it.
No, because I hate the people that like harass them, but there's this one dude that tried to get them to put their hand on the Bible, and they won't do it. They're definitely old school Catholics, so they don't want
Right.
to lie, put their hand on the Bible and lie. But
No,
they
I think
will
they don't
take
want to
a
make
swing.
a mockery of the Bible.
Yes.
If I had been to the moon and someone was harassing me for decades to just be like, just if you've been to the moon, put your hand on the Bible and swear that you've been to the moon. I'd be like, all right, here you go. Fuck you. Or do it. Who cares?
To be
I
fair,
don't think you're not an old school Catholic.
Me?
no.
Yeah, you don't care about making a mockery of the Bible.
Yeah, that's
You just
probably
said you'd put your hand on the Bible and say, "Yeah, I've been to the fucking moon."
Immediate hell. Right to hell.
Immediate.
To be fair to them, too, like, even if they've gone to space and they landed on something, they can't be 1,000% sure it was the moon.
They have no idea if they've been to the moon. There's no chance they've even left the damn stratosphere.
Okay.
You know what else is out of this world, though? Bare bottom clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Bare
This would have
bottom
been a
is-
much better transition when we were talking about bears and salmon.
That's true.
Bare bottom is on a mission, just like we were in '69 to get to the moon. Only they failed. Bare bottom is on a mission to make the most comfortable, made-to-last menswear around, and they succeeded. Bare bottom's soft and stretchy gear stretches with your body and your schedule. You'll love their pants, all made with super stretchy elastic waistbands during those big holiday meals, right, Pat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're all looking to add a little more comfort to the holidays. And that's why Bare Bottom makes the perfect gift for friends and family. Pat, how many people did you get Bare Bottom clothing for this holiday season?
28.
Oh, wow. That's a big number. For a limited time, you can snag their highly rated joggers, shorts, and briefs at big discounts with their special bundles and mystery packs. Ooh, almost as mysterious as space. Everything is built for value. You're getting the softest and stretchiest clothes in the game for a great deal. You're also doing some good in the process. Each item purchase is matched with a donation of a school lunch to a child in need. Over 125,000 school lunches have already been donated this year. You can get 10% off your first order by going to barebottomclothing.com/rocket. That is BEAR, bear, like the animal. What's a bear sound like, Pat?
I was prepping for this, and I'm now bluffing it. You can continue?
No, that's what bears sound like. They talk.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't specify that. A bear could sound like that, like if they just like had something in their throat, for sure.
Yeah, if they went to school, they could
they were
talk.
like about to like make a speech. Like, what would a bear sound like?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Barebottomclothing.com/rocket. So, Jake, what do you think? Do you think we've been to the moon?
I think we got up there, yeah.
No, we didn't. There's just no fucking chance. No chance. Imagine how scary that must be. Like, leaving the Earth and going somewhere where you're just, like, it's not like you're, like, if you were to go to the moon, that there's people waiting there, be like, all right, you've arrived safely. Welcome, welcome. Let me get your coat for you, and we'll make sure that we fuel you back up, and then we'll send you back on your way after you're safe and doing your exploration. You just fucking go on the moon. It's just you. If you get to the moon, there's no one there to take your jacket. There's no one there to show you around because no one's ever fucking been there before. There's no one there to fuel you up because there's no gas stations there. What happens if you just can't get off the moon? You're just stuck in space for the rest of eternity? What if time doesn't work the same on the moon as it does on Earth? What if you're just stuck, like, living the next 5,000 years? Like, if one, what am I trying to say? If 1 year on Earth was 1 second on the moon, did I say that right? If you were just stuck living 5,000 years in your mind of existence on the moon because you were stuck there, that would be the worst. That would be terrible.
Yeah, that's purgatory.
Well, you'd also just starve to death or not have enough water, whatever.
Yeah, probably.
I also want to take a quick moment to point out that one of the top things that Jared's reasons for not going to the moon is there's no one there to take his jacket when he arrives.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm never gonna have to worry about that. If it came down to it, and Earth was out of resources, it's like, oh, the oxygen's running out. There's no food left. There's no water left. We got to get to the moon. I'd be like, fuck you. I'm staying right here, and I'll go down with the ship. Don't care. Don't care. Good luck landing on your fake ass moon.
Mm-hmm.
We got some Twitter questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not yet down in the DM. I don't know how we're gonna move on to a new life with down in the DM, but this is these were not DM questions. These were just straight up Twitter questions that were sent in directly via Twitter replies. So it's not down in the DM. It's not brought to you by Ronald's Napkins, who was a great sponsor for this podcast for many years. Ronald's Napkins, I believe, came on in 2015. But it's the end of the road. It's the end of the road for Ronald's Napkins. As you know, they clean your fucking face. Jake?
First question we got coming in from Baseball Lobster.
Lobster? That's fucking... So there's a... Not only do both of the other gentlemen on this podcast slander lobsters,
I didn't slander them.
You said that they're overrated and that they're trash and that we should eat. You said we should eat crickets instead. You said that.
I didn't say instead. I said if you eat lobster, you should also be eating crickets and any other invertebrate exoskeleton animal.
I disagree. Okay.
But yeah, it wasn't slander. Everything I said was correct.
No. It was slander.
I also did not slander in any way.
Both of you
Correct.
slandered.
No, you're slandering us right
deserve
now.
it. You deserve it.
All right.
Each their own.
To each their own. Boston Lobster, who I'm
Baseball
sure is
Lobster.
fucking pissed. Baseball Lobster.
Well, you just got his name wrong, so yeah, I'm sure he's furious.
Yeah.
Baseball Lobster wants to know, why is Pat Light so sensitive?
See, can I answer this one, Pat?
Go ahead, Jared.
I don't think Pat's sensitive at all. If Pat was
I agree.
sensitive, he would have been like, all right, guys, he would have off the record been like, can we not anymore? And I mean, we don't talk about that stuff as much now. The whole sucking thing, we don't talk about that. And I think it's because we like you. And I think you've handled it better than anyone ever who's played professional sports. That's about as good as you could take it. So this notion that Pat is sensitive, not true. I mean, Pat, I would go as far as say Pat's a sweetheart. He's a gentle, kind soul, but that doesn't make him sensitive. That just he's in touch with his emotions. And Patrick.
I actually want to add to this because one of my good friends texted me last night about our roundtable.
Right.
And mentioned how I had gotten made fun of quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And my response to him, in summary, was, and I quote, "Great for the pod.
Great for the pod.
Team guy.
Team player.
guy.
Always has been. Always will be. Yep. Team guy.
There's and I feel like I've said this before if I haven't. There's a lot of, especially baseball players, but pro athletes who were high picks and it didn't work out for whatever reason. And if you tried to make jokes around them like we do with Pat, they would kill themselves. Like they would, or they would kill themselves or one of us. Calling him sensitive when he's just like, can we tone it down a bit, is not how I would characterize Pat.
I don't even think he didn't even say that. There was listeners that said that. Pat never even asked for that.
He's been quoting these listeners. He's been calling people out. He's taking it like a little bitch is how I would describe it. But sensitive, no.
Next question, Jake. Thank you. Thank you, Baseball Lobster, for your question.
All right, Pat, this one's for you too. Coming from Carson Eddington. Pat, what's your favorite home run that you've ever given up?
Which one stands out to you the most? It's got to be the Josh
Stands out.
Donaldson one, right?
Yeah, so the one that stands out the most is Josh Donaldson. I don't know that I have a favorite. Carson Eddington, is that his name?
Nailed it.
Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite Carson, you piece of shit. But
Oh, there goes being sensitive again.
okay.
All right.
But yeah, I think Josh Donaldson stands out the most because most people pointed out to me the most.
This was something I've started noticing more.
Mhm.
How quick were you to ask for the ball from the ump? Because it's one of my favorite things in sports now to watch for, like how quickly a pitcher's like, give me the next ball.
On that particular home run or in general?
In general, like were you a turn and watch it guy, or how did you handle it?
No, I was not a turn and watch it guy, unless I thought it might be borderline
Questionable,
out
yeah,
or not. For the most part, I'm not asking for the ball immediately usually, but I'm just not paying attention. I'm just upset at the moment.
There was someone last year, I can't remember who it was, but like I don't even think the batter had swung yet, and the pitcher was like, "Yeah, give me."
Yeah.
Like, I've given up home runs to people who were much worse than the people you've given up home runs to.
Mm-hmm.
And like the second you throw the pitch, you're like, boy, this isn't gonna end. I hope he just doesn't swing, because if he does, is that still true even at that level? Like the second you release it, you're like, oh, this is definitely gone.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely true. Yeah, especially to certain hitters, you throw a pitch, you're like, son of a bitch.
Wouldn't that like? I wonder if there's like because even in like basketball, you release certain shots, you're like, oh, I know that's in 1,000%. So like, I wonder what like if they can even study that feeling, like to be so sure of an event that hasn't happened yet, but is inevitable. There has to be a word for that.
Yeah, and the thing with basketball or baseball is it takes under a second for the pitch to get there. So
Right.
to have that feeling and under that quickly, you did bad that fast, is really remarkable, actually.
For sure.
Okay, thank you for your question, Carson Eddington.
All right. Ian Combs, he's come up with a hypothetical scenario
Okay.
that involves Pat Light.
Okay. Great. That's awesome. Let's hear it.
So Pat Light has a full count against Giancarlo Stanton. Bottom 9, up 1 run, 2 outs. What happens?
Wait, say it again.
There's 2 outs. Yeah,
Hold
2
on.
outs, full count.
Two
Giancarlo
outs.
stands up.
Giancarlo stands at the plate. 2 outs, full count. How
Bottom
many
of the
runners
9th.
are on?
Bottom of the 9th, you're up by 1. Doesn't say how many runners are on.
Let's just
like
say the
guy on
bases
let's
are
assume
loaded
they're-
then.
Oh, let's just say guy on second.
Well, I wanted to say
walking
bases
him.
loaded because I was gonna say if I want a situation where he has to pitch.
You're
it.
walking him?
I'm to be clear, guys. I'm throwing no matter how many people are on base. There is one pitch I'm throwing here to Giancarlo Stanton, and I'm pretty confident I can get a swing and miss on him.
Splitter
Yeah, no doubt about it.
because you didn't have a slider, right?
Because bases are loaded, he's gearing up for a fastball. And my slider was dog shit. But bases loaded, he's gearing up for a fastball, and I just throw it right down the dick and let it hopefully drop. And I don't think he will not swing.
Correct.
He would
I agree,
definitely
would
swing.
The only way he doesn't swing is if he knows my scouting report which he would, that I am more than likely going to throw that pitch. But I still don't think he's able to back off.
Yeah. There's always a chance that it flattens out and he just fucking crushes it, and it's a
I
two-run
don't flatten.
home run. Yeah.
Splitters don't flatten out.
Okay.
How fast was your splitter?
I would say on
93?
average probably 88 or 89.
Really? I thought it was faster.
It could get up there, but for the most part, it's between probably 87 and 90.
I would
Yeah.
actually feel confident in Pat in that situation. I would.
As would I.
Well,
Yeah.
to get in that situation, you would have to assume we were up
we're
like
not. That's
10
not part of the
nothing
scenario.
going
Not
into
part
that
of the
inning.
Not part of the scenario given. Let's stick to the question from Ian. And
Was that the
was
nicest
answer.
question yet? It has to have been.
Yeah, I think he's hoping for a bad answer,
Mm-hmm.
but that's pure speculation. Ian might be a tremendous person.
Next question.
Thank you, Ian.
Ben Gillis. Would Pat have struck out Barry Bonds if they were active at the same time?
No chance.
No.
No chance.
That's not even a knock on Pat. Like, just no.
I don't think I would have either.
I mean, he did strike out Mike Trout, but the thing is, people don't realize that like Mike Trout is not even that good.
Correct.
Okay.
Barry Bonds is 10,000 times the hitter that Mike Trout is.
Barry just had such a good eye.
Yeah.
And he had
So
the fastest hands in the history of human history.
It would have been very, very difficult.
And his righty lefty, like it just nothing about that scenario is great for Pat or
No.
most pitchers. Like,
Yeah, it's Barry fucking Bonds. I don't. Although I did notoriously do better against really good players than I did against.
Josh Donaldson won an MVP.
Trout.
I didn't say all of them.
Okay.
I said, historically speaking, I did better against the better players than I did the worst players.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I still.
That being said, Barry Bonds would hit the shit out of that.
Okay, it's not relevant. He asked if
Right.
I was striking him out.
Yeah.
So
Would
the
you
answer
have-
is no.
Would you have pitched to him?
I would highly doubt that my manager would allow that. However, with respect to my intentional walks,
Right.
we're not 100% sure what we would do there.
Mm-hmm.
Although you could argue what you did in your intentional walk career was better than other people who attempted intentional walks against Barry.
Would you? How would you attack him? Would you low and away, try and like get him to roll something over?
I don't know. I don't know the scouting report on him. If there was was he like a first?
Can't imagine there was much.
Was he like a first pitch take guy? Were you able to get ahead of him? Like, was he taking 80% of the time on the first pitch? I don't know.
I don't know what the numbers were, but I mean, if you throw him a dick ball, he's yakking.
Right. I don't think he cares what pitch it is. Yeah.
Without a scouting report right now, I would imagine that I am throwing. He's not going to see a fastball for a strike, and I more than likely was going to throw him just splitter after splitter after splitter, and hope that he either mishits it, pops it up, or I walk him.
Is having a bad day and is mentally not locked in. Yeah, something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what anyone would do.
Yeah, there's no fastball that's going to be any. Well, granted, even when I tried to throw fastballs around the plate, it was a struggle. But he's not getting anything that's straight.
I don't think
in the zone.
I don't think Pedro had great numbers against Bonds. They didn't have a ton of appearances against one another, but I don't think he ever struck out Tony Gwynn, and I don't think he was particularly effective against Bonds, which speaks more to Barry Lamar than anything.
Yeah.
If Pedro faced Barry Bonds, I don't think that's a video that I've ever seen.
Every time we played the Giants, it was, I think we played them in 2005, which Pedro obviously wasn't here for. I'm trying to remember if we had played them before that.
They came to Fenway in 2007 when Pedro was gone, and I don't remember playing them before that with Barry.
Not at Fenway, no.
Unless it was pre-Red Sox.
Pirate Bonds?
Yeah.
What if, like, when the MLB blackballed him, the Red Sox were just like, we don't agree, and we just signed him for his age?
It was talked about.
Yeah, but he definitely didn't want to come here. I remember that very clearly.
It looks like he's never faced Pedro.
Never? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought he did.
Unless, hold on, this is minimum 7 at-bats, maybe.
Well,
He faced...
Bonds was 11 for 33 against Pedro.
Bonds was 0 for 3 against Pedro with 1 strikeout.
What? He was 11 for 33.
Where are you seeing this?
They played 16 games against one another, 43 plate appearances, 33 at-bats, 11 hits,
Where are you seeing
2
this?
doubles. StatMuse.
What the fuck is that?
You can type in any 2 players and they come up.
Or you just do a basic Google search of Barry.
Right, I
Bonds,
Googled
Pedro
it. I
Martinez.
Googled Barry Bonds, Pedro Martinez.
But it pops up right. You know that new Google stuff where it just tells you the answer right there?
Could it be that most of them happen in the playoffs?
I don't think
When
so.
would they have faced each other?
Now I'm just reading NBC Sports. They're citing the same numbers.
RotoWire has a hitter versus pitcher tool, and it's saying that he was 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout.
I don't know what to tell you. That was one game for sure. He definitely had an 0 for 3 game.
Also has 3 doubles and 1 homer.
And a triple.
I didn't put that in the little bio here for me.
Bond stepped.
Oh, so we played them in 04.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing is you're doing interleague. Pedro had a long career. He should have faced Barry a few times.
Andy was in the National League with the Expos when Barry was in the National League, so they definitely squared off then.
Yeah.
Maybe it just doesn't go back far enough.
This was in 04 they faced each other, and Pedro lost. In
Why
a game,
is there just fucking no faint? Like, can you recall seeing a video of Pedro versus Barry Bonds?
only like very barely. That's why I couldn't even. That's why I thought it was 05 because I didn't think he was in a Red Sox jersey. But yeah, 04 we played the Giants in San Francisco.
There's no like fucking like if you search Pedro Martinez versus Barry Bonds on YouTube, the only video that will come up is from like a fan in the fucking 8,000th row. June 19th, 2004, he struck out Barry Bonds swinging on a 3-2 pitch with Marquise Grissom on second base. The Giants won 6-4 with Pedro taking the loss. Barry went 0 for. Damn. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. You would think that, like, that clip would be something that you would just, like, remember. Or it would be something that would just, like, get shoved down your throat a billion times, like Pedro versus Barry.
Well, one thing about Pedro, too, like, people outside of Boston, I don't like. People obviously love Pedro Martinez. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I don't feel like he's held in the proper regard nationally as he is locally.
Like, you don't think... I think I called him, like, the greatest of all time one time on Twitter, and everyone was throwing out a million
Right. There's a lot of like people were really quick to say Kershaw was better. They did the same thing they did with Trout Bonds when they were saying, "Oh, Kershaw is the best pitcher we've seen since like Roger Clemens." Like, Bobby Valentine just said Clemens was better than Pedro. Like, a lot of people are wrong.
I think Pedro had... I mean, I think Clemens had the better career, but Pedro had the best peak of any pitcher in baseball history.
The reason
Pedro's
I hate
peak is the greatest.
The reason I hate that is because it like how I'm trying to see how I word this. Like, how long does a peak have to be before that's just their career? Because I think people kind of narrow Pedro's peak down from like 99 to 02, and I think that erases all of his Expos years where he was a Cy Young winner, and
No,
he was still
he
good.
won he won a Cy Young in what, 97? So I think Pedro's peak, like a peak is a 7-year period. But when you want to talk about like the greatest of all time, like he's got to be like in the conversation for the greatest for basically 20 years. Like Roger Clemens was
20?
fucking. Oh yeah, Roger Clemens was 43 years old with like a sub-2.
He was playing half the season.
No, he had like
Yeah,
a
he
200.
was.
No, he had a 200 inning season in his like early 40s.
That's not 43. in
Roger
which he
Clemens
pitched.
was 42
Right.
and had a sub-2 ERA and threw 211 in a third innings
Yeah. And
finished third for the Cy Young. What fucking planet am I on where that's third best? Roger Clemens because he went 13-8. Like the wins and losses, I guarantee you, or what they were like, well, he's only got 13 wins, so I don't know if he can beat Cy Young. He threw 211 in the third innings, had a 187 ERA, struck out 185 batters, had an ERA plus of 226, which led the league, a FIP of 287, which led the league, 187 ERA, which led the league. And he was 42 years old. So when you can come into the league in 1984 as a 21-year-old and still be great in 2005 as a 42-year-old, I think like that's
very natural.
Well, I mean, steroids are I think that was the first year that they started testing was that year. 05.
Yeah. And I don't think he was doing them then. I think wasn't he a big Viagra guy?
Yeah, he liked having a hard cock.
Right. Chris Carpenter won it that year, kind of in a blowout fashion. I think they got it wrong, but it shouldn't have been Clemens. It should have been the guy who came in second.
Speaking of hard cocks, Pat, most guys have tried different ways to last longer, but looking at Roger Clemens' career statistics doesn't always work. And the folks at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman swipes because it is the secret to longer lasting sex, which we're all trying to have. Right, Pat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you are. Roman swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. How long would you say you last in bed, Pat?
On average?
Yep.
With or without Roman, though? So
without Roman.
2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. Still respectable, honestly.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah. The thing about Roman swipes, though, is that they're effective, easy to use, and fast acting, but they don't require a prescription. So, Pat, you don't have to like walk into your local CVS and be like, hey, can I get some Roman swipes? Like, I only have sex for like 2 minutes at a time. You don't have to do that.
Yeah. And I like to keep it private.
You like to keep it private because here's the thing. Roman can ship swipes directly to you in a discreet, unmarked package. And each swipes packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it.
Wow.
So say like you're having a night on the town, and obviously you're going to get approached by women, Pat. Like you're an attractive guy. Women are going to come up to you and be like, hey, are you Pat Light from the Boston Red Sox? And then you'd be like, yeah,
yes.
Of course I am. Of course I am. And then maybe this lady's like, well, I'd love for you to take me out on a date sometime. And then you're gonna be like, listen, Toots, I'll take you on a date when I feel like taking you out on a date. And then being the gentleman that you are, you probably wait for like that weekend. You know, this isn't like a Tuesday night girl. This is like a Friday night girl. It's kind of like college starters, you know? She's a Friday night girl. So you take her out that Friday and you don't know. Is she a sex on a first date girl? Is she a wait for it girl? Not that I don't think that there's anything wrong with sex on the first date. I think it's kind of like you just got to figure it out. Like, sometimes you're not going to go on 5 dates before you find out if you have sexual chemistry or not.
Of course not.
So maybe she is. Let's say in this scenario, this nice young lady is a sex on the first date girl, but you weren't sure. But you had your Roman swipes in your discreet unmarked package, and it was small enough to fit in your wallet. And the thing is that it's super easy to use, Pat.
How
you
easy?
just you take the swipes out of the packet, right? And you just swipe it on your little penis.
Well,
you got to let it dry,
okay.
and then you're good to go. That's it. That's really it.
And you said I can fit in your wallet, so I can go road or home games.
Correct. You don't even think about it. It's not something that you have to like grab before you head on out of the house. It's like it's already in your wallet because it's small enough to fit in there.
Boom.
You're just ready to go whenever. So go to GetRoman.com/rocket, and you can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That is GetRoman.com/rocket. What's the next question, Jake?
Well, I've pulled up the careers of Clemens and Pedro, and like their entire careers, it's 24 years versus 18 years. And I know Clemens got into starting. He was 23 when he was like a full-time starter. Pedro was 22, so they started pretty similarly. Pedro's prime goes through '06 when he got hurt on the Mets because they made him change against the Marlins. The Marlins ended Pedro Martinez's career. People don't like to talk about it enough in my eyes. So we're talking about like a 3-year difference. So I can't really give the longevity edge to Clemens. This is what I'm talking about when people like bash, like not bash, but like they undersell what Pedro did. People act like Pedro only did it for 5 years. Like, no, he did it for 16 or 13. Sorry.
Yeah, you have a decade plus. You have a decade plus of essentially dominance. So
yeah,
it's not like he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's not like people are saying like, oh, Pedro only had like a couple good years.
No, of course. But when we're talking about the singular best, this like the number one, like you do have to split hairs and stuff like that. When you look at their 162 game average, and I only did it for Pedro from 93 through 06. And for Clemens, I did it from 86 through 05 because 06, his age 43 year, was when he started doing the only pitch at home game stuff. Their 162 game averages, Pedro kind of mops the floor with them. Like they have almost the same record. Pedro went 17-8. Clemens went 17-9. Strikeouts, Pedro's averaging 250. Clemens was averaging 230. ERA, Pedro wins. Like Clemens is in the conversation. I don't even mean to do like bash Clemens, even if I'm not his biggest fan. But like objectively, it's Pedro. Like just objectively.
Let me see. What was Clemens? Clemens 138.7. 138.7. Okay. So if and when Clemens gets in, he'll have the third highest wins above replacement in the Hall of Fame for pitchers. Cy Young, Walter Johnson, Roger Clemens.
That sounds right.
To get to Pedro is at 16, but I would love to see, they have a stat called WAR 7, which is they just take your 7 best seasons and add them up, and that's
I
your
think
peak.
Clemens's is slightly higher for WAR.
For for WAR or WAR 7, it would be
For WAR 7, because I've seen that before. People have yelled at me about this for a long time, which is why I'm so passionate about it.
What year did Pedro get in the Hall of Fame? Pedro Martinez Hall of Fame class
3 years ago?
14?
Oh, was that long ago? Jesus.
2015. Okay, 2015 MLB Hall of Fame ballot. It's weird. The WAR 7 stat, the only place I can find it is like on the actual fucking ballot. Okay, so
That is weird.
WAR 7. Roger Clemens, 65.9. Pedro Martinez, 58.2.
Right.
Randy Johnson, 61.5. So Pedro was the third on his own ballot.
And Randy Johnson, I don't know why he gets cut out of this conversation as quickly as he usually does. I feel like people knock him for his like walks and his control. It didn't really seem to matter. Like he was as dominant. Where's he in Cy Youngs? Isn't he like third all time or second all time?
He's got what, 5? I know he won 4 in a row. I think he won a Cy Young like every year that he was in Arizona, except for the year that he was hurt. Yeah,
right,
he won 4 in a row. So he's got 5. He has 5 and 2
Clemens has
runner-ups.
7?
No, he has 3 runner-ups and a third place. So he won 5, including 4 in a row, 2 runner-ups, and 1 third place. So he very easily could have more Cy Young awards than Roger Clemens.
Yeah. That's also a reason, too, why I really hate leaning on awards, because the people voting for them are fucking idiots.
That's correct. I don't
So it's
know, I don't have like the Cy Young like voting totals and the seasons comparable to the other guys that were in the league at the time in front of me. So I can't break it down season by season, but I'm going to go out on a limb here, Coley. And I'm just going to say, without looking at a single statistic, that if I were to look at the year that Randy Johnson finished second in 93, 97, and 2004. And let's throw in his third place finish in 94. One of those years, I'm going to feel very strongly that he should have won it.
Randy Johnson?
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Pat, where do you think Nolan Ryan fits in all this?
Not 100% sure.
Fuck yeah.
Do you think, as someone who's actually thrown a fastball in the big leagues, triple digits, you've actually done that?
Yeah.
Do you think that guys like Walter Johnson and Nolan Ryan were actually throwing, like Bob Feller, were those guys, the country strong boys, were they throwing triple digits at any point?
Well, I remember how I watched that. There's like a doc on Netflix like called Fastball or something. Yeah. So
They
I
measured
remember
it by like a fucking motorcycle driving down the goddamn highway.
That was okay. That yes. So him that no, I know, but there was I forget how they did it with Nolan Ryan, but it seemed legit to me.
He wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. But they measured it like how quickly it got to a place and how fast it had to be traveling. Like it seemed scientific the way Nolan. The motorcycle down the highway, not a thing. But
Was that Walter Johnson?
I'm not 100% sure. I just remember it being like a black and white video and it being the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. I just don't know how you can't take a video and be able to measure it based on the video.
I feel like the video
translate like video to miles per hour.
The video back then was so like choppy. I don't know how accurate it was.
I'm saying for like Nolan Ryan.
Oh,
they did for Nolan Ryan.
But it's still an estimate. Didn't they say like his fastball was like 111 miles an hour?
They said something ridiculous. Like the fastest he ever threw was like I think like 109 or something.
Yeah, and it's just not possible. Like that's not humanly possible to throw that hard overhand. Like I think you can throw a fastball underhand. Like I think like the fastest you can throw is like 120 or something like that, just based on like biomechanics. Mm-hmm. But there is a limit to how hard you can throw overhand.
That feels temporary too, though. If humans are constantly advancing and evolving. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's the fastest? Is Chapman's not even the record holder? It's Buddy from the Cardinals, right? Jordan. What's his name?
Hicks.
Yeah, doesn't Hicks have the fastest?
I don't know. I thought
Chapman
still had it.
Yeah, I think Chapman still has it. Fast.
I thought Hicks put up like a 106.
I don't know. I do believe that Nolan Ryan threw over 100 though.
Aroldis Chapman is credited with throwing the fastest pitch in MLB history on September 24, 2010. Chapman made MLB history. Then a rookie relief pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, the Fireballer, unleashed a fastball clocked at 105.1 miles per hour.
He hasn't beat that since he was a rookie?
No.
He's been hurt, isn't he?
Did Nolan Ryan throw 108 miles per hour? That pitch that was measured when the ball was 10 feet in front of home plate, according to Sports Illustrated, which means after a small calculations adjustment that Ryan's fastball was closer to a 108 mile per hour pitch. Not true. There's no way that's
I remember that now.
Yeah.
I remember that now because they say it's like you're supposed to. Apparently, the radar gun measures it like right out of the hand, which is when it's at its peak, and then they had measured it much closer to the plate, which it had slowed down by then.
Nolan Ryan with a 108.1 mile per hour reading, according to the Doppler laser radar readings that were used in 1974.
Doppler, I thought that was.
The Ryan Express was really bringing the heat that night in 1974, throwing the fastest pitch ever recorded in a Major League Baseball game. Just one of a long list of accomplishments in his historic career. All right, so then are we trusting the Doppler laser radar readings from 1974 that tell us Nolan Ryan threw a fastball at 108.1 miles per hour?
Yeah.
Okay, there you have it, folks.
I mean, no one has come fucking close to that since.
No one's come close to Mickey Mantle's longest home run either.
What was that? 791 feet?
734.
764?
34. 30. Let's not be
734.
ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's not get
Carried away.
Yeah. 734.
That'd be outrageous.
Listen, they've done the math. Leading off the bottom of the 11th, he had a little more gas in the tank. At Yankee Stadium. This, of course, I mean, you got to believe everything the Yankees say.
Right.
He, May 22nd, 1963, a casual 734 feet. Right out of there.
That he hit it into the mouth of a fucking pterodactyl that carried it the rest of the way.
What's crazy about it, too, is like his next 5 home runs are all over 620. Like, none of these are true. Not a one.
No. They just they're like, that looks like it was 630. Let's call it
Even
634.
like his 10th longest is 530, which is fucking blasted. Like, none of those are correct. Not a single one.
No, unless they just legit had like fucking bouncy balls in the core of the baseballs.
Even then, like, that's so far. Like, if you gave Ortiz a metal bat, he's not hitting one that far.
He didn't. They
I
did
know.
do that.
That's what I mean. Right. Not possible.
Now it's like, now if the Yankees are willing to make shit up about how far Mickey Mantle's home runs were, did they really win all those World Series?
I think that a shroud of doubt has been cast upon the entire organization.
This is what WCW used to do with Goldberg. Goldberg,
Just
when
lie.
he first, Goldberg when he first debuted, like the whole thing was like building up that he was undefeated. So he'd be like 28-0. And then like a couple weeks later, he would beat someone on Nitro. And then they'd be like, he's 36-0. And it's like, where the fuck are the other like they're just making shit up. They're like, he's 101-0 and he's only had 33 matches.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. I mean, it's wrestling, so I guess you can make it up as you go. But like that was a notorious thing that WCW did with Goldberg, was just like every one of his wins counted as like 7.
I don't hate it.
Sure. Expedite the process.
I mean, the Yankees, it's just got like, how do you count anything that happened when it was just one type of person allowed to play?
Right.
Come on. Come on.
Right.
They've got like 11. I think that's pretty neat.
Not even.
All right. We've got like 7.
Yeah. Like basically the Red Sox and the Yankees are neck and neck.
I don't disagree.
Think about it this way. The fortunes of their franchise turned around when they acquired a fucking murderous lunatic. Is that the franchise reputation that you want to have? You won most of your championships after you acquired a raging murderous lunatic while also winning championships before all peoples of this earth were allowed to play the game.
It's disgraceful.
Yeah. No moral code.
None.
Classless. Jake?
All right, next one. It's gonna be the last one for Pat. more disappointing Red Sox tenure. What do you think the 2 options are?
Well, me.
Him and Pablo? Is it Pablo?
Pablo.
Yep, Pablo.
Has to be Pablo.
Yeah. The expectations were way higher with Pablo.
Way higher.
Yeah. A lot more money allocated, a lot more opportunity. I mean, people forget, Pat Light only got 2 chances, and they were like, get this guy out of here. He pitched 2 games, and he was gone. They gave Pablo 2.5 years. 2.5 years. And it was still the most dead money, I think, besides Josh Hamilton, ever left on a contract at the time of a release. They were like, this guy's got to fucking go, and we don't care how much it costs to get rid of him. And with Pat, it was just like, P.U. Just Just like,
What's interesting about me is they actually took on more money to get rid of me.
yeah. I mean, at the time, I think Fernando Abad wasn't having a terrible season.
No, he was doing
No.
well.
No, he just stunk with it.
They got rid of me to get a lefty in the bullpen. They didn't have anyone.
They had what's his face, fucking.
Lawnmower.
There was someone else that was
What-
getting looks.
Wasn't what's his name? I want to say his first name was Tommy.
Tommy Lane. Yeah.
Tommy
Oh,
Lane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was
They
an
had
interesting
Tommy
guy.
Lane. Is he?
Yeah, weird go. But there was like a rotating. I don't think they really had anyone. Breslow was gone by then.
Yep.
And they needed someone. They needed a lefty, and they listened. I didn't do tremendous in the big leagues, but I was pitching well in AAA, so they got rid of me and got some value out of it. Love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Abad went on to suck for the Red Sox.
Yeah, but I mean,
could
that's not my fault.
No, not your fault. And I think the Twins saw potential in a righty that could throw 100, and the Red Sox were like, we need a lefty. So
Yeah, it is kind of surprising you didn't have more value just given like your traits, even if, and in AAA you were playing well.
Yeah. But I mean, as a minor leaguer, trading a 1-for-1 for a big leaguer
Yeah, that's true.
it's a pretty big deal for a minor leaguer.
That's true.
The thing that was disappointing the most to me was that I didn't hold any value in Minnesota. Like I didn't play that well, but like none of the young guys did. It was a shit year. They threw me a fuck ton, and then the GM that traded for me was the interim GM, and they just fucking canned his ass. The new guys came in and said, "See ya, Pat." I was like, "Fuck, guys, I'm not that bad."
yeah, you're not that bad.
So, a little disappointing.
Yeah. Jake?
Aaron Buckley wants to know if we could have one non-baseball related celebrity on the pod, who would it be?
I suggested the Island Boys.
I'm starting to feel bad for the Island Boys.
Fuck no.
I'm not at all.
I am.
Fuck those guys.
Here's the thing, you're part of the problem. If you're not paying close enough attention to the Island Boys, I get why you have no sympathy. But like these guys can't even go to the fucking grocery store without someone trying to like threaten their lives.
I don't know if it's that severe.
Oh, it is. There's like a TikTok of some dude
okay.
just like rolling down his window. Like the dude's just like at the grocery store, one of the Island Boys. And he's like threatening the dude's life and saying like, if you don't check in with me and like let me know that like you want to come around these parts. It's like the guys
Listen,
are just like they're
People want to
fucking-
act a certain way. They want to act all tough, and then real tough guys show up to the scene. I don't really feel bad for you.
That's why I
No,
don't
neither
feel
do I.
totally bad for them because like when they got kicked off Impulsive, they were
saw
trying
that.
to
They,
act, they were trying to act tough, and it's like
Exactly. They were trying to like almost say like they were like affiliated with gangs. If you
Yeah,
want to say
yeah,
those
yeah.
things, you got what you get's coming to you.
Yeah, you better be affiliated with gangs.
In a
Otherwise,
major way.
yeah, gangs show
in
up.
a major way.
One thing about gangs, they show up. All right, like I think they're gonna show up. You know what they're about. Very honest people, extremely honest. So yeah, you want to claim that life. Like you better be a part of it. Is all I'm saying, because otherwise it will be thrust upon you if you were just kidding.
Right.
At the grocery store, apparently.
Yeah.
Anywhere, broad day does not matter.
They don't
So, yeah.
care.
0%
They
feel bad.
They talk pretty hard for a couple of dudes that are like 90 pounds soaking wet, but a lot. I mean,
Yeah, no.
I do have sympathy for them sometimes.
0.
They
I
want
might be
listen.
the negative.
They wanted exposure. They like no one had a gun to them when they were posting these original videos. They've got the exposure.
Yeah.
What they do with it is their decision. They want to run around and like steal Kodak Black's haircut, but not like people run up on these people too. Like it just doesn't get the same exposure.
All right. I don't know that Island Boys is my answer to the question. Just kind of had that Island Boys thought.
Yeah, that was
Seriously
Pat's
not.
choice. Yeah, terrible choice. I wouldn't want them on this show.
No, I wouldn't want them on the show either, to be honest. I saw them on Impulsive and I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, I'm sure that if they came on the show, it would do well for us, especially now that we have a fucking YouTube channel. Woo! What is the link? Like people just have to search Section 10 on YouTube, or like what the fuck? Like is it youtube.com/something?
Yeah, I'll put it in our bio for tonight for Twitter and Instagram. But yeah, you can just search Section 10 on YouTube also.
All right.
I might get Neil deGrasse Tyson on here to yell at Jared about space.
That dude doesn't
that
know
would be a good
shit.
Michael Jordan.
Who would do the best? Like, who would have the most listens?
Michael Jordan.
You think he would, without a doubt, get the most listens for us?
He doesn't talk that much to people, so anytime he comes out, it's kind of an event.
You think he would get more listens than Trump? Trump is such a polarizing figure.
For sure, I think it'd be close. Honestly,
Trump
I think
does a
Trump
lot
would
of
win.
media.
Yeah, but still, it gets
But
yeah.
him
That's
coming
true.
on this podcast.
That's why what I mean is like they would have to. I don't know. Like, is it just whoever is the like? If The Rock came on this podcast, would it do more downloads than Trump?
Probably.
Yeah. Like if Justin Bieber came on this podcast, would it do more than?
No,
It wouldn't do more than Trump.
I think he's the fourth person named so far he would get like the least out of the four that have been named.
If Taylor Swift came on this podcast, where would she
That would be
rank?
solid.
I think she's right down there with Bieber.
You think that Taylor Swift coming on Section 10 would do worse than
Yeah,
Michael Jordan?
yeah,
I don't know. Her fans are fucking lunatics.
definitely. She doesn't have the biggest clothing brand in the world.
But I feel like
And that's,
more
like,
people
Not the
want
thing
to-
he's most famous for.
on YouTube. I think that more people would be searching for her to talk about whatever than hear Michael Jordan talk about shoes and basketball. Like, what do you think is being searched more on YouTube? Like, more people are searching for Taylor Swift content than Michael Jordan content for sure.
YouTube's an interesting medium because I believe the most streamed artist on YouTube, not last year, but like the last time I saw this stat was YoungBoy NBA. So if we want to do it that way, then yeah, YoungBoy would be my answer. He would for sure get the most views.
Who the fuck is that?
Exactly. That's my point. Like YouTube's a terrible barometer for this. Like, and Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan highlights get watched pretty frequently. Like I'm sure it would come up.
I think the other thing you have to consider, though, is who is going to tell their fan base that they did this. I'm not sure Michael Jordan's doing it. I'm not sure Taylor Swift would do it. President Trump certainly is going to do it. He tweets out everything that he does.
He
doesn't have a Twitter anymore.
He can't.
Oh, you're
he
right,
actually,
you're right.
he'd be
That's
the
tough.
worst.
He might be the worst out of the group because he can't tell anyone he did it.
Right.
I'm thinking like more who's most drawn to podcasts, and I feel like Taylor Swift fans are just listening to her music. They're not going to listen to
But
they
they're
will
so
listen to her talk.
obsessed
Yeah, I
with her
agree.
music that they will go beyond for any
For
crumb
sure.
of Taylor Swift content.
1,000%. But I think because of the rarity of Jordan speaking, it would be, and if we had him for like Bobby Valentine hour, I think that would do more than Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber. I don't think Bieber's anywhere remotely close to these people.
What if we had Kanye on?
That would get a lot of listens for sure.
Yeah, that would definitely do well.
That would be like having Trump on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think who would do better, Kanye or the D'Amelio girl?
Kanye.
Yeah,
You think
I
so?
By a
that would
lot.
be better. Yeah,
By hundreds of millions.
yeah, I think
I don't
it would
know.
do better.
Those girls have like 50 million Instagram followers.
For sure.
The TikTok
Kanye?
world, I don't understand, but I do respect it.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, if Charlie tweeted out or put it on TikTok that she won the podcast, it's like how many of her fans? I know a lot of her fans would listen, but like how many are going to see like it's us three and be like, oh, I don't particularly care what she has to say.
Get me
on
away
that
from
podcast.
this. Yeah.
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 Like
Or most of the
Kanye, I
people that
think
like
his fans will
follow
listen.
her, it's like, yeah, I follow you for your dances. Like I don't follow you for like your takes.
on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Right. Like they have a TV show that wasn't bigger than the TV show Kanye was on.
They have a
at all.
TV show?
Yeah. It's on Hulu.
The Lou?
Mm-hmm. Big Who. For sure not bigger than Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which Kanye was on.
Right. So
Like
I
that's
guess,
who Kanye. Even the people who don't even listen to Kanye's music, which is a very small portion of people to begin with, they would have watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like it's harder to be bigger than him.
So
Who's the most followed person is on like Instagram? Is it Kim Kardashian still?
Isn't it Katy Perry?
No, I think Katy Perry's up there. Kim's up there, but Kim's not the biggest Kardashian, I don't think.
Oh,
I
The
think,
Rock. The Rock is the most followed person in the world, I think.
Is he really?
That makes sense.
Yeah. He was just on some talk show promoting one of his movies, and that was one of the points. It might be the most followed male, which would still leave the door open for like Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Kim Kardashian. It's got to be one of those three. For like
So
most.
The Rock has more than Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner.
Kylie has more than The Rock, and I know she's got more than Katy Perry.
So Kylie is the most followed person in the world?
I believe
I
so.
remember. Yeah, Kylie did surpass people. Because with her, whatever she does with
Ooh,
makeup or something.
Messi's real close to Kylie.
Ronaldo has the most followers in the world.
That's what I was just looking up. Yeah, he's at 380. Ronaldo's over all these people.
People forget that like soccer, they're legitimately international stars.
I'm not going to slander the sport of soccer because I can obviously see that it's popular and I'm in the minority, but I just don't get it. I
enjoy it.
Yeah. I think as far as soccer goes, I find like the troops and Zaz of the world far more entertaining than the actual sport itself.
You know what, Jared? I feel like a lot of people would say that about you in baseball.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I am fucking electric.
I think baseball and soccer it's like a similar sport in the sense that it's like not constant action. Like everyone complains about like these basketball fans like complain like how baseball is just like slow. And I think soccer's the same way. I like that stuff.
It's rarely basketball fans complaining about anything other than
I
basketball.
just use basketball. Yeah, I just use basketball.
Football fans complain the most about every other sport by far. I think basketball and soccer are very similar.
Football fans are the most insecure because they have the most popular sport, but they still have to put down other sports and talk about how great their sport is.
Football fans are super insecure. MMA fans and hockey fans are the same.
Hockey fans are insecure too because they're hockey fans are the ones that are like,
please like my
grow
sport,
the game,
but don't
please
watch
like
it.
Yeah, like please like our sport and like we want to grow the sport of hockey. And then the second that like outsiders take interest in hockey and they're the casual fans that don't quite know what they're talking about, they just get ganged up on and shit on by like hockey diehards.
Except for one time. One time, one person decided to watch hockey for the first time, and it became national news.
I remember
when Solo City, Tony on Twitter, black guy from, I believe, St. Louis, went to, or he just tweeted out one night, hockey's low-key lit. And it was one of the funnier things that's ever happened on the internet. Hockey fans were like, finally. Finally, we've got one. We have one person who looks a little different than us who likes our sport. It became national news. It was one of the like, I think he dropped the puck at a game. Like he was, I know the Blues brought him out and gave him like the red carpet treatment. And it was just like very, very funny to watch happen. Like that can't happen with any other. Did he?
He blocked and unblocked me. I don't know why he blocked me. I had never tweeted at him. Maybe he just doesn't like Barstool. I don't know. But
I don't know.
The last time I checked, he did not.
He soft blocked you. He soft blocked you.
No, I was just straight up blocked for like a year, and then
all right,
because I wasn't following him.
Did you bash hockey?
No, I like hockey.
His number one.
I started out as a hockey guy once upon a time.
Jerry Pucks.
Yeah, I remember your dad's story about that.
I could have. I could have been a Spittin' Chicklets guy. The course of history was altered. One hockey practice, I skated up behind my coach, and he didn't see me, and he slipped and fell and landed on top of me, and then that was it. I was like, "Fuck hockey."
I thought it was the season tickets.
That's what I thought too.
No. Well, yes, it was both. When I was younger than that, I played hockey, but I was obviously a little guy. and I was
They
at
all
hockey
are.
practice and skated up behind my coach, and he didn't see me coming, and he slipped and fell on top of me and like crushed me. And then I never wanted to go back to hockey practice ever again, so I didn't. And we had Bruins season tickets, and then that we eventually switched the Bruins season tickets to Red Sox season tickets, and the rest was history.
What a better choice.
Way better, yeah.
Baseball is such, and I do think it is something like you had to have played it for an extensive period of time, not necessarily to Pat's level, but like if you played it through high school, I think you appreciate it a lot more. I think it is hard for people who didn't play it to enjoy.
Correct.
I agree.
Yeah, like you. I'm
Great
not
take.
saying that you had to have played it to appreciate it, but like it is extremely difficult to love it to that extent without having played it to at some level. Because I feel like when you were a kid and you would initially fall in love with baseball, it's because you're playing it, not because you're like
Right.
watching your favorite team. So to have those like deep roots of loving baseball, that usually comes from like t-ball and little league, and like that's how you met your friends and shit like that.
I also think once you get to a certain level, like it's tough to appreciate a 3.5 hour, pitcher's duel until like when you get to high school. That's when strategy and pitch calling, all of that stuff kind of starts coming into play. And like if you didn't play to that level, I can understand how you might not. It certainly don't have to play to that level to appreciate that, but I can understand how people are like, well, it's not for me. It's just too in depth or too much.
Yeah. My favorite thing
I
about
try-
playing baseball in high school is how fucking stupid most of the other players were. And like as a freshman, sophomore, freshman and sophomore year, you kind of see the younger players and you're like, these guys are fucking dumb as shit. And they don't even like understand like basic sign stealing stuff. Like I'm in the batter's box and I'm looking out at the pitcher, and it's like, you got some dumbass catcher that's just going to go in order. They're just going to be like, fastball. Oh, he shook it off. Oh, he just threw down curveball. Oh, he said yes to that? All right, curveball's coming. Like you can steal signs while you're at the fucking plate without looking down at the signs. And then being on second base, you're in high school. No one's using multiple signs in high school. So it's just like, fastball. All right, cool. Now I can just like grab like the right side of my helmet. Like I'm like yanking on the whole of the right side of my helmet. I'm telling the fucking batter, hey, fastball. Oh no, all right, I'm fucking with the left side of my helmet. Like now it's curveball. Like it was so easy back then. And I feel like a lot of kids, maybe up in here, I'm sure there's more competitive high school baseball elsewhere, but it was the easiest fucking thing in the world to steal signs and relay signs and know what pitch was coming in high school.
We certainly used multiple signs in high school down here.
Yeah, we didn't.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Jared
That's
was. Saugus is what, D5?
7.
Right. It's a little different.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
just,
certainly have to use multiple signs.
yeah. That, I mean, you
Just
would
a basic
play
outs plus one type of deal would be.
Were you guys wood bat or metal in Saugus?
metal.
Okay.
There's
We
wood
only-
bat high school leagues?
No, I know Boston Latin used wood bat. Or do I have it backwards? I think CM used wood bat and Latin used metal. So when we played Latin, we just thumped them. I think that's what it was. It's one or the other. I can't remember.
We did wood bat
Oh,
in
the-
summer in high school.
Wood bat in the summer?
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised. Like, at what point are they going to take the metal away from like Blaze Jordan was just using a metal bat? That seems extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I mean, the bat companies are just never going to let that happen.
Why? How is it their call?
Wait, and also, what is this big bat? It's not big pharma where they have a tremendous amount of pull. I think the reason you don't do it in college is because the difference between a freshman and a senior. It's a huge difference between a skinny freshman. Like a skinny freshman that just came out of high school. Like when I got out of high school, I was 6'5", 170 pounds. And then by my junior year, I was probably 215, 220. Like it's just such a large, like freshman college players would never, we so struggle to get actual hits or home runs because they're so much smaller. And against junior, senior pitchers, I think it's just too big of a difference. But like when I faced this guy, I think his name's Kyle.
45 pounds?
Yeah, you put on a lot when you start actually lifting and trying to put on weight. Excuse me?
What? I just asking a question. That seems like a lot of weight to put on.
Just don't play freshman then. Like I don't.
No, you could. I'm just saying. I think that's probably one of the reasons you don't do it.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like freshmen. They can't get drafted anyways, and like football has this problem. I would say a little bit more severely when it comes to size difference. They redshirt guys. Like I think you would just have to redshirt them.
Yeah, but I think we can. Seemingly football is not a big health conscious sport.
No.
They don't seem to care a whole lot about the rules or trying to have people survive.
No,
baseball is a bit more leaning towards health and safety than I think football would be.
That's fair.
That's why I'm saying redshirt. Like I'm thinking of the health and safety.
You certainly could redshirt, and maybe that's a thing that people do, but I don't. I just don't see it happening.
Interesting.
Because of Big Bat.
Big Bat.
Big Bat. Yeah, Big Bat. I mean, those companies, a tremendous amount of power in
they
DC,
do.
So.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite metal bat growing up?
Mine?
Yeah.
I didn't really. I was a terrible hitter, so I don't remember. To be honest with you,
none of us were fucking Roger Maris.
The really only bat I remember growing up, and it wasn't even one that I used because I had already stopped hitting. But it was like that. It was like an orange TPX maybe. It was like a trampoline bat everyone used to talk about.
Yeah, I had the black bat with the red writing TPX, and then I had the red line?
Red line, yep.
Yeah, I used those two bats, but then what was the other one that everyone was like fucking obsessed with? Like so basically when I was in high school, the varsity head coach like just had a shit ton of money and like wasn't even, he was a terrible coach, but they just never fired him because he always just like sunk so much money into the program. Like he bought like he paid for the field, he paid for the lights, he paid for the shed, he paid like every year we got new fucking jackets and hoodies and pants and equipment. The catcher's equipment was new every single year. The jerseys were brand new every other year. He would just shift it down. So it's like brand new jerseys for varsity. So then the JV team got the old varsity jerseys. Like everyone was just looking fresh as hell and we sucked. But he would buy like 5 brand new bats every year. And so we always had like top of the line. I mean, for the worst fucking team in the conference, we always just looked the best and had the best bats and equipment. It was great. I mean, I had no complaints. I was like, you want to put me on the bench? Fine. I'm going to look fly as hell sitting there though. My fucking Saugus High fucking swishy pants. It was a great time. But yeah, no, it was. We just weren't a good team. Mm-hmm. Jake,
what's the first move the Red Sox make after the lockout?
Probably sign fucking. What is it? Seiya Suzuki.
Yeah,
I feel like that's probably going to be the thing. I'd love to say the Devers extension, but it's just not going to be that.
That's interesting because I do feel like it's going to be very NBA moratorium ending where like Passon's going to tweet 50 things like he has the news right now already. Like he has the signings in his phone already. And he's just going to mass tweet them out the second the lockout is off. So it's interesting.
Wouldn't that imply tampering?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yes, Jared. Yeah.
Yeah, but who? But
If teams aren't tampering, they don't deserve to win. You do not deserve good things. What's the penalty you're gonna fucking lose a draft pick? Like, I don't give a shit. I don't. Like,
and who's
tamper.
enforcing it?
Right.
Major League Baseball. Also, it's surprising
And
to
if
me.
everyone does it,
Seiya, because he's an international guy. Technically speaking, does he count? I mean, he's not a part of the union yet. Could you technically sign him without? Could you technically keep talking to him? Or once he elects that he's coming, now is he considered
Major League property.
a part of the association?
I think
Good question.
I think you could technically sign him to a minor league deal since he doesn't qualify as a major league player yet. But he would never take that because you can only sign him to so much, and he's not on the 40-man, which obviously you can just activate him to the 40-man. But I don't think you could. I think you could only give him like a 1-year minimum deal. Which why would he?
But
Like,
that's the thing,
he's just
though.
going to trust.
That's the thing. Is like you're not a part of this. I don't know that you're a part of the union until you've played a Major League Baseball game or signed a Major League Baseball contract. So how is he falling under this category?
Well, like you physically can't sign him to a major league deal because there's no major league teams technically.
I see. What
So
you're saying.
like I don't know if because the AAA team has a general manager.
Correct.
So I think that's who would have to talk to him. I think that's who would have to talk to him. Like it wouldn't be Heim. It would be whoever, and I apologize to the Woo Sox GM. I do not know their name. But I think it would have to be that person.
Interesting.
So that's
I'm sure
I
there's a
just
loophole
think
somewhere.
not going to happen.
I
For
guess
sure.
that is
Oh,
the loophole. But I guess that's the loophole. The
Team
team
Steve
is the AAA
Oliveira.
GM.
Steve Oliveira is
Stevie
the director of operations.
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, he's had a lot of late night phone calls to Japan, trying to negotiate with Seiya. I love it.
Larry Lucchino is the chairman of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Charles Steinberg is the president. So we've got a lot of riffraff from up here down there now.
Larry
meddling.
Lucchino. Did you notice that Bobby Valentine spoke very highly of Larry?
Yeah, I mean, I
you
like
don't-
Larry.
But didn't Tito not speak very highly of him in his book? I read that book. And I don't
Correct.
remember coming away. Okay, yeah, I don't remember coming away with a good opinion of Larry at that point.
Right.
So
Yeah.
for the 100th anniversary day, that's when I was still working security. And I wasn't supposed to be at Fenway that day. The night before, my boss calls me. He's like, be at Fenway tomorrow, suit and tie. I never wore a suit and tie for this job, so I didn't know what that meant. When I got there, they were like, you're with Francona all day. All day. You're his personal security guard. And I was like very afraid because he had just gotten fired like the year before. Months before. He wasn't supposed to be coming. I think he was at Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun the night before, and someone convinced him to come. And it was at the Fenway School right behind Fenway Park is where all the players and 100 years worth of people were hanging out before the ceremony. And everyone was in the cafeteria except Francona, who had his own little room, his little alcove. And I just stood in front of the door. People would come up. I'd be like, is this someone you want to talk to? He'd be like, yeah. And I was staring out the door. He was talking to someone. I can't remember who it was. I was staring out the door. I saw Lucchino walk by. And I turned to be like, Lucchino just walked by to like have everyone on edge. And like he wasn't coming in. He walked by. And as I turned back, he was walking past me. I didn't hear the door open. I didn't see him approach the door. Like he slithered under the door like a snake, kind of, and got past me, to which I froze and I'm staring at Francona like, do you want me to take care of this? Like, you want me to tackle it? Like, I didn't know what to do. And it was an icy conversation, to say the least. It was not a friendly back and forth.
I'm not
Well, I mean, they
surprised.
just fucking slandered the guy a few months before.
Yeah, we sure did.
Also, I'm looking at it right now. It looks like the executive vice president / general manager / real estate development and business affairs is Dan Ray, REA. Is that how you would say that?
Rhea.
Dan Ray. Could be Ray. Let's go Ray.
Rhea.
Dan Ray the third. That's the guy that we need to talk to. And I found a video of him. Apparently there was like a rain was happening in Worcester, and this dude was out in the field fucking helping getting the tarp out there.
Love that. My GM.
Yeah.
Hashtag my GM.
Yeah. What a guy. To just be able to go out there and say, you know what? I'm one of you.
Pat, what was the best? Because like in the minors, they make you guys do like a lot of like song and dance type shit, right? Like promotional giveaway nights and stuff like that. What was like the best you remember?
This is one of those questions I need a little more prep work, a little more lead time on.
You're not
just
getting
look into your
I don't-
goddamn brain, Pat.
I don't. First off, that's unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Second off, I paid zero attention to it all, so I really have no idea. I just remember hating having to like go onto the concourse and sign autographs. I just remember hating doing that type of shit. But I don't remember any promotional nights.
There's no Pat Light bobblehead night, huh?
Never.
You realize
It's
that
more
you're probably
likely-
you're gonna
Yeah.
get one now.
Yes, I do realize that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like a decent chance that you will get like a Sea Dogs or Woo Sox Pat Light bobblehead night.
I think my best chance is Salem. They
'Cause
interact
there's-
quite a bit with me.
Do they?
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Portland follows me. Worcester doesn't because I never played there though. And Greenville I think does. Greenville always puts me in that. They have like do that bracket that they do for the baseball people, like that you just participated in. Like top whatever players never play there. They always put me in because I interact with the most. I never win though. You know,
I never went
maybe this
either.
year though. Maybe this year.
That tournament is very funny to me because I make it to the championship every year and lose, and I think it's a great bit. But also, the amount of people that will come at me and be like, "We can't let Barstool win," and blah 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 blah. I'm like, I'm my own person. I'm not representing the company. This is me and the content that I make. And then there's this other dude that was going back and forth arguing with me. And he was like, the only reason why you make it to the championship is because the Stoolies push you there. And I was like, funny story. The Stoolies found out about this tournament a couple of years ago. And because they were aware of it, they actively voted against me. So I'm competing against my opponent and their fans, the people who hate Barstool, and then the people who love Barstool. So it's those three entities against me. And the fact that I still make it to the championship every year, and I think I only lost by like 2%, is fucking crazy.
You lost again this year?
Every year.
I thought for sure you'd win this one.
Well, Pitching Ninja objectively has way better Twitter content. Like that, like if we were to, not to take anything away from him, he works his fucking ass off, but he can post whatever MLB content he wants, and they don't care about that. If I were to post original MLB content, we get shut down in 2 seconds. So I'm very limited with what I can post that has MLB highlights on it. But I mean, objectively speaking, Pitching Ninja's baseball content on Twitter blows everybody out of the water. So I should not have won. But
He definitely does well.
he definitely does really well. Yeah. Like when you have Major League Baseball pitchers in their press conferences shouting you out for
either highlighting them or impacting the way that they think about pitching from like a philosophy standpoint, yeah, I'd say that your impact on the game is pretty noted.
Would you use the word profound?
I would use the word profound. Yes,
You would. Okay.
yeah. I mean, next year, I mean, I think it's going to continue to be a thing that I make it to the championship every year and lose. It's a great shtick, but at some point, I would like to win it, and if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to need some better help.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I voted for you.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate the vote.
every round, I believe, actually.
There was one round I didn't. I can't remember who it was against.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny to vote for the other person.
I mean, it was probably Hubs or whoever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, it is funny to me when people are like, "We need to take down Barstool," when it's literally just me. Like, not one person from Barstool pushed that voting. Like, not one. I think the only person that I saw that retweeted a poll to help me out was Katie Stats. That was it. That's
RDT
the only
didn't?
person. I think he retweeted it like after the fact, being like, back to back conference champions isn't terrible, which is it's true. You're back.
Hey, you're the
back-to-back
Bills.
yeah, you're the Astros. Yeah, no one else. So like, you're not taking down Barstool. You're just taking down some guy that just likes to talk about baseball. That works for Barstool. But yeah, no, that was the thing that happened. The tournament made its way to like the Barstool Reddit, and then they actively voted against me to ruin it for me. Pat,
Yeah. Actually, fun fact, I got my first piece of Barstool hate. the other
did
day.
you?
Yeah.
How did that? Yeah, how did that go? In person or Twitter or what?
Yeah, in person.
In person. How did that go?
Fine.
What was the interaction like?
It was just at a bar, one of my bars.
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't go. People didn't particularly like, Dave, and thought that it was a negative thing.
For the bar, or for
no,
you?
No, they didn't. They didn't really particularly have a negative thought on the bar because of it. But
They were judging
yeah,
you.
not a fan.
Were they judging you for joining this podcast?
It wasn't that negative. I don't know that necessarily I was viewed negatively, but I think there was some there. I think there was a little bit there, but I think I'm so not involved in the business portion of this that I don't think I'm not ever really around all the Barstool guys, like except for if they come to the bar. So I think that it was more just not a fan of the Barstool thought process.
Got it.
But yeah,
It's interesting.
So I feel like I'm more a part of the group now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuff like this, trying to, get people to not generalize and be able to separate things. It's like, what is it that got you upset? What is it that got you mad about all this? Is it something that I said? Something that I did? No? Oh, okay. So I struggle to comprehend the thought process of some people, which is why I'm big into online therapy, because you need someone to vent to. It's not about if you feel like you're emotionally unwell, or sometimes it's just about venting, getting your stresses out. And the best way to think about therapy is through a bunch of different analogies. We get our cars tuned up to prevent bigger issues down the road. We get annual checkups and go to the gym to maintain physical wellness and prevent injury and disease. We do chores regularly to avoid a giant mess of a house. And going to therapy is like all the above. It's routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness to prevent bigger issues down the road. Therapy doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It means that you're investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. And Barstool Sports agrees, because they're offering BetterHelp services to their employees as an added benefit to take care of their overall well-being. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. I personally think that's weird. That gives me like church confessional vibes. Like I've done online therapy for like 2 years now. I've been in therapy for fucking
12 years, which is why I always think it's funny. Those fucking trolls from like the Kirk Minahan show, they were like two listeners that thought that I was like doing it for attention. And I was like, I've been in therapy for 4 years before I even got to Barstool. 7 years before I even got to New York. I find it helpful, but I think that online therapy without being able to see the person you're talking to, I don't know if I'd like that. I do. I've done in
Certain
person
people
before.
would.
Yeah, maybe. I've done in person. Okay, it's fine. But then, doing it over a little Zoom chat, it's pretty good. 2 thumbs up. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and if you and you can start with communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours, which is huge. To be able to find someone that quick, it's been a motherfucker. The first 2 times, I'm on therapist number 2. First time took forever. Second time, I think it was Ellie, who was like, "Yeah, I have this place down the couple blocks away from the office," and I was like, "All right, I'll check it out." Now here we are, 2+ years later, still have the same therapist. Why invest in everything else and not your mind? Section 10 is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/rocket. That is BETTERHELP.com/rocket. Jake, the next question.
Next question. Adam wants to know, what do you guys want for Christmas this year?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like Coley's list is going to be boring. It's going to be like, oh, I want stuff for my fucking baby.
Why would I want that?
I mean, it's less expenses for you. Those are things that you have to buy. Like, you don't have to buy presents for the McMahon.
I already have stuff for babies.
That's true. You can just do like hand-me-downs.
Oh, yeah.
That's clutch.
Mm-hmm.
So then what do you want for Christmas?
Some sort of rare jewel that someone would have to like really plot and plan their way through, like ancient Egyptian tombs to even find. One of those.
Did you just see that movie with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds? Is that why you said that?
No, they don't technically go to Egypt, and I guess they do at the very end.
They definitely
for the
do.
wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not to steal anything.
Not an initial theft, but there are thefts committed for sure.
Yeah, just not in Egypt. But no,
Patrick?
I'm typically thinking about tombs.
Mm-hmm. Patrick, what do you want for Christmas?
That's tough to say, Jared.
Is
I
it?
would say because I don't really care. But I would.
You're one of those guys.
It's the thought that counts, Jared. It doesn't
No,
matter.
it's not.
Specific.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the financial commitment that counts. It's like if you get me a Christmas present, like if I was dating someone and I spent $2,300 on their Christmas gift and then they spent $40 on mine, dumped. Like, it's definitely the financial commitment that counts. It's not the thought at all.
What's the equal commitment? Like, does she have to spend $2,300 in your eyes?
No,
or?
I would say, like, if you spent $200, then that's like, all right, you actually give a shit. But if it's like like $40, I would never. I would just say that I didn't realize we were doing gifts this year before I spent $40 on someone.
I will say I made a significant financial commitment to a gift that is no longer relevant. So that's,
Got it.
That's always fantastic.
Got it.
But I will say I didn't ask for this for Christmas, but this is something I've been meaning to buy myself. So I guess I would be delighted to see it under the tree on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big My favorite type of music is like Sinatra, all those stuff. Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett stuff.
Mhm.
So I have plenty of Sinatra old records. I have like one of those record players,
Yeah,
and I wouldn't mind a few Tony Bennett or Dean Martins.
that's cool.
Hmm.
I was gonna tweet something the other day. Like, I think you get to when you fully become an adult is when you get to the point where you're excited about what you bought other people compared to like what you think you're gonna get. And this Christmas, with no significant other, I got to kind of allocate dollars. With you spread it out. My sister, my parents, and it's like you can just kind of ball out with what you get for those individuals. So I'm excited to see their reaction to their Christmas presents, having only to buy for 3 people. Like you can kind of just be like, all right, the Christmas pot. Because when you got a bae, it's like, all right, like you like there's no one that put up with my shit more than this person. So like you're probably gonna get like I feel like the Christmas gifts that I've purchased for a significant other basically since I turned 22, call it. It's always like, sorry for this past year. Here's a nice gift. I apologize for the past year. Here's something really nice to offset that.
It's a great way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Very depressing.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said, dating me must be the most depressing thing in the world. Like all I do is just complain about everything. Just download all of my panic attacks directly into your text thread. Like, here's what I'm worried about today. Here's what I don't feel good about today. And then you've gotta talk me out of this deep emotional hole every day. But hey, if you hold on long enough, you'll get a pretty sweet gift in December. If you make it to the finish line. So
I can picture the card from Jared. Hey, remember this whole past year? My bad.
sorry, but
That's on me.
Here's the compensation for that. Pretty sweet
Expect
gift.
0 change in behavior from me for the next 365.
Correct. But yeah, that's
All right, well, that's very nice of you, Jared.
sure. Yeah. I don't know that I asked for anything. I think the one thing that I asked for was kind of like a 2x6 like wooden squared shelf, because I have, like, when you first walk into my bedroom, there's the wall kind of jets out a little bit in a certain way, and I wanted to put something there that I can put like sneakers in. Like, I have 2 fucking closets that have shoe racks in them, but I want to, for easy like accessibility, be like, all right, these are the ones that I wear most frequently. They're right here. I can just grab them if I'm gonna run, instead of being like, all right, I gotta like match my outfit with my sneakers. Let me go to the upstairs closet and see what we got in there. So really, I just asked for fucking cubbies.
Wood? Yeah, couple pieces
Yeah.
of wood.
I asked for some wood screwed to wood. Yeah, I mean, mostly everything else that I wanted this year, I just went out and got. Like, I wanted that fucking cane mask. I bought it. It's $200. And I'm just going to sit in my
It's
apartment
tough.
wearing it.
It's tough when you have like a little bit of money and it's just like, yeah, I'll just buy that. Like, I'm big, I'll just buy that guy. And everyone hates me for it.
Yeah.
Makes me very hard to buy a gift for.
Like, potential significant other candidates are just missing out big time, because I have nothing. I got nothing to spend money on. So I just buy dumb shit that I wanted when I was 10 and still kind of want now. Like the WWE title belt that I have is like, I think it's worth $5,000, but I paid $1,500 for it. Even still, that's an absurd amount of money to pay for a fucking wrestling belt. But I was like, I want it. So I bought it.
Simple.
I have a $1,500
exact. I don't even know if you call it like a replica. Like the dude who makes the WWE titles that the wrestlers carry and hold on television is the same guy that custom made this belt for me. So it's not even like can you call that a replica? It's just a fucking belt that would have been used on TV, but it has rocket logos on it.
It's like
It's an authentic belt.
yeah, it's authentic, but it's like ceremonial. It's not. It was like never in action. It couldn't be authenticated as in like no one ever hoisted it in a match. Like it was given, not earned.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it's like the ball they used for the first pitch.
Right.
Like it was never in-game action.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, what the fuck else would I want?
Don't know. I'm getting what I wanted, which is sick.
What are you getting?
The Egyptian jewel. No. The Simpsons arcade game.
Like pinball?
No. Like the arcade game. I don't know how. Not pinball. Arcade.
It's on a screen.
Yeah, it's on screen.
With a stick and 2 buttons.
Mm-hmm. You've certainly played this.
Yeah, it was probably at Papagino's in Saugus.
It was the number one arcade game of the 90s, for sure.
No, Mortal Kombat.
No.
Yep.
That was like on Sega and shit. I don't even know if I can count that.
I guess, but I played Mortal Kombat on like an arcade, in arcade form, probably more than any other. Like it was Mortal Kombat. I know was at Papagino's on Route 1 in Saugus. I know it was at Strike One. We would have like the indoor baseball league in the winter, and we would get there super early, and everyone would fucking play Mortal Kombat. What was the other one? What was the racing game? It was like something like Cruis'n USA.
Cruis'n USA, yeah. Cruis'n was big. I mean, Big Buck Hunter was big.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one that was kind of like that? Terminator 2 was big.
Yeah.
The Jurassic Park one, where you were in the car, and you were in the Jeep.
I don't think
Did you not have that one? Mm-mm. That one was amazing. Because you were in it and you had guns and you were killing dinosaurs. Like, it's hard to be much cooler than that.
Mm-hmm.
Snaky, and this was later in the decade, but Blitz on arcade was, I think, more fun than playing it on like N64 and PlayStation.
You want to know how much of a fucking loser I am?
Yeah.
I would play NFL Blitz on Nintendo 64, and I would do multiplayer, and I would sit there with the first player and second player controllers, and then just try to see how many points I could score. Like I would do da bomb, and I would just throw a pass and then take the other controller and just keep hitting A so that whatever player was closest to my receiver just like stopped running. And then I just kept fucking throwing touchdowns into the end zone. And yeah, that's how I used to play that game, was just try and win 250 to nothing.
Also, for reference, according to this website, Street Fighter 2 is the best arcade game in the 90s.
So best, that's objective, not necessarily like the most played or anything like that.
No, it says it seems to be objective, yes.
Where or subjective? Not
subjective, yeah. My apologies.
Where is The Simpsons on this list?
Yes, so it goes Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Interesting.
X-Men, and then The Simpsons.
X-Men one was big, so was the Ninja Turtles. Golden Tee, obviously, also on this list.
Oh, wow.
I have to scroll for that. I haven't seen it.
I just got a fucking email. It's here. Your order has been delivered. My cane mask has arrived. So that's what I'm going to be wearing.
I mean, Jared, I don't I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but this is the first YouTube episode. I feel like you kind of got to go get it.
I deliver my mail to my parents' house because if it's an envelope, I have it mailed here. But like this building sucks. Like if you get a package delivered here and it's too big to fit in your mailbox, then they put it in a mail room, but like don't tell you that it's here. So like in theory, I could have packages because Barstool used to like send me shit all the time in like big boxes, and I would never know that it got here because they wouldn't tell me that they sent it, and the building doesn't let you know that you have a package. So that's why I'm like, all right, anything over the size of an envelope is going to go to my parents.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm going to text Ellen. Did my package get there? Because if you say no, I know you're a fucking liar. Imagine if she just tries to like wrap it. She would do that too.
No,
honestly,
Ellen
I
would
wouldn't
never.
even. I wouldn't even blame her if she did. If she tried to like, if she knew that package was the Kane mask and was like, I mean, he didn't ask for anything for Christmas, and he just happened to want this Kane mask since he was 8. It's like you have to unwrap that on Christmas morning. She said yes. I can't wait.
You just sitting there at Christmas dinner with the Kane mask on.
Well,
everyone very unsettled.
Do you want me for the YouTube channel? Do you want me to show you what my Christmas sweater is that I'm wearing this year?
Sure.
Okay, hold on.
This could be anything. It's probably Kane related, I would imagine.
So, Coley, how you doing?
I'm all right, Pat.
That's good, man.
How are you?
Doing great. Got a nice little Christmas party tonight at one of the bars.
A super spreader event?
Well, actually, if there's anything going to be super spreaders last weekend, it's SantaCon in Hoboken.
Oh, yeah, true. True. And I believe it was.
Well, it certainly was in New York, it seems. I haven't seen anything. Okay.
Yeah, Kane.
Yeah, exactly.
The lights up.
We got it.
It's got lights on and everything.
I love that.
He can't hear us.
I can hear you.
Okay, I thought the headphones were
I
out.
have really good hearing.
No.
Okay, yeah. He's lying.
Yeah, that it lights up, and now I'm gonna be able to wear the fucking Kane mask with the Kane Christmas sweater.
Wow.
Love that. Love that.
Exciting
dude.
times.
Oh, buddy, you wouldn't believe. All right, next question.
Okay.
That was the last one, wasn't it?
I thought
No,
it was.
what? That was the last question?
I mean, we could go all day.
Are there any other good
Um,
ones in your mind, Jake?
I
What
think
does Jake want for Christmas?
Yeah, what do you want for Christmas, Jake?
Yeah, Jake.
Well, I did think about it, and I think I'd be willing to forego any Christmas presents for the MLB to just figure it out in the lockout.
Yeah.
They will. They will. So I think I think you're punting it. They're obviously going to figure it out.
We'll say quicker then.
Okay, that's fair.
And what is quicker? Can I get a definition on that?
Well,
Like, when
I
does
was
it
going to
become
ask.
not worth it anymore?
True. I think pre spring training.
Okay.
So
So if
just
we
we have a normal start to the season and nothing's affected.
All right. So if we dip into spring training, it's no longer worth giving up all your Christmas gifts.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
When's the next time they sit down? Isn't it like January 6th or something like that?
Yeah. It's after the new year.
Whatever. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like obviously I wish we had more baseball to talk about, baseball news and shit. But I don't think that we've been struggling through any of these shows during the lockout. Just
No.
powering through, putting out 2+ hour shows.
Yeah, we talked a little space. We did talk baseball for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk a little ballot, talk a little Christmas.
A lot of baseball related questions coming at me.
Mhm.
Yeah, talk a little Pat-like career. You know. You know.
At this point, at what point, Pat?
Okay.
Like you keep referencing the listeners as your evidence to us being mean to you. Do you think that's fair to say?
I believe that's fair. Yeah, that's accurate.
Okay. At what point is it painfully obvious that the listeners are meaner to you than anyone on this show has ever been?
I can tell you with certainty that the gentleman last night, the 16-year-old, I believe his name is Rowan.
Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan.
That was the point.
Mm-hmm.
When he just absolutely roasted me in several instances. It wasn't just one. That is when I realized that the listeners seem to be enjoying this more than even my good friends here on the show.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like
For the record, I don't enjoy it.
Okay.
I think it's classless.
low hanging fruit.
It's too easy. It's too easy to talk about your shitty career. It's too easy to just be like, I think we just got to move on and be like, this guy has a wealth of baseball knowledge that we got to tap into on this podcast. You know, like we've never had the I have been there before perspective. And that's what you're going to get moving forward on Section 10. And
We asked Pat, a hard right-handed thrower, about Nolan Ryan, and he said, "Yep, heard of him." That's the kind of insight you can't get elsewhere.
You should expect that kind of insight on a weekly basis from
every
us.
week. Every week. Yeah. So it's you know what, Jake? Why not one more?
Okay, one more.
No. Yeah, one more.
All right, I do have one more that this was from earlier in the week.
Is it for Pat?
It is for Pat.
Okay.
Pat, how crooked is that picture behind you on the wall right there?
I saw this, and I'm pretty sure I responded to it. Did I not, Jake?
You did
You did.
respond, but
I saw your
respond to it.
response.
Yeah, it's not crooked at all. I actually, if I can move the camera here since we have a YouTube channel now.
We do have a
Gotta
YouTube
move
channel.
I got to move the camera the correct way in order to get it. It is not crooked. I took a level to it. I can put the level on it for proof. I don't have it on me. I have to go out into the so I can.
Do you have like a
give you that
fucking
content.
like what's that called? Like a fish bowl
Fisheye.
lens?
fisheye lens.
No, I
Fish
don't.
eye lens. It looks like it shouldn't look like that.
I understand that.
Yeah.
It's almost like
I'm not saying it's crooked.
Like
No, it's
the
not.
wall is like leaning over you almost. Like
The wall is going this. It's like it's not going directly out. It's going this way.
Gotcha.
So I think that so now it's over a little bit. But if you were to look at it, which I can get that content for you guys because I think it seems like people want it. I can put a level on top of it to make sure that everyone knows it's not crooked.
All right.
Yeah. So, problem solved. Okay.
Is there another question? Is there a question not for Pat?
Trying to get a little jealous.
Someone wanted to
Oh,
know
yeah.
what we think Rafael Devers wants for Christmas.
Ooh.
$150 million.
Oh, that'd be such a steal.
It's true.
I would be upset for him if he only signed for 150. I'd be genuinely upset.
What do you think he would want for Christmas? I mean, he's not quite at he doesn't have a driver's license yet, but like
No.
you kind of get to a point when you're a couple of years out where you're not asking for a new bike because you're like, what's the point of getting this bike when I know that I'm about to get a car?
Mm-hmm.
You know, PS5 and Xbox X have been hard to come by over the last year. He might not have one yet, so it might be a leftover from last year. Like, a guy just wants to play some video games.
They're still hard to come by. I've tried to get one.
What's the new system called?
I've seen it. I've seen it, Coley. Every show I've seen, I'm like, damn it, Coley.
What is that? That's a PS5?
5.
And what was the other one that you said?
Xbox Series X.
That's the newest Xbox.
Yeah, they have the Series S as well, which are very easy to come by, but they're not as good, one could argue.
You know what's crazy is that it seems like how the iPhone puts out a new iPhone essentially every year. then it feels like these game consoles. It's like, well, I don't want to go buy the new one because they're just gonna put another one out in a couple of years. They're only on PS5. Like I was a child when PS2 was a thing.
Yeah, they don't do it every
It's
couple
like
years.
every 7, I think, is their cycle. Roughly, I think it's every 7.
Yeah, like
I had PS4 like in the early days of my minor league career.
I think I only went through 3.
I went
PS3 was
PS2
terrible.
I went PS2 to Xbox 360. I got the Xbox 360 Ring of Death, and my PS2 still works. So after that, I never went back to Xbox. I mean, granted, I only had one other console after Xbox 360, but I would be getting the PS5 if I could get a hold of it right now.
Yeah, so PS4 came out November 15th, 2013.
Yeah, so
yeah, that was right when you like got drafted, right? 2012. So and yeah, this came out in 19, so it was 6 years between.
Mm-hmm.
What came after Xbox 360?
Xbox One.
I don't think I had that one. I think I had Xbox 360, and then I went up to PS. My dad had a PS4 because he wanted to play Beatles Rock Band. So I didn't own a PS4, or maybe I did. Is that the one that Dallas sent me? I think I have a PS4.
Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got a PS4.
So I do have a PS4. I've never used it.
Okay.
There's just too much. The gaming is too much. Everyone's already really good.
It is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just like a system will come out. The system's brand new. If you don't get the system and the new game the first day, then there's no point to even playing it, because by the time you get to an online stage, it's just like, all right, you spawn, you're dead. You spawn, you're dead. You spawn, you're dead. You're just like playing with these fucking like kids in middle school and high school that are just infinitely better than you could ever possibly hope to be at this point in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
This is why, like, when I think during quarantine, when quarantine first started, I think I hooked up PS4 in New York, and I just played Grand Theft Auto and just went around like killing hookers. I was like, I don't want to play a game online where I have to compete with other people online, so I'll just come up with these fictional storylines and live them out with playing against computer characters. It's the only way I can have fun.
So I play Fortnite, which is, I mean, if you go online, you might as well get shot in the face the moment you land with by these middle schoolers. Mm-hmm. But me and some of my buddies are all equally pretty bad. Mm-hmm. So they have like a little mode where you can go play by yourselves. Like we play 2-on-2. It's fantastic because we're almost all the same skill level. So it's not like it's demoralizing when in the Fortnite, like I've seen if you've seen the TikToks, which you haven't now, I just remembered that, but they like make fun of how ridiculous people are building in that game, and it's just I'm never gonna play enough to get that good.
I don't think I've never played Fortnite in my life.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but only the way I just told you I enjoy it. The other way is just, I'm dead. I'm in the lobby most of the time trying to restart the game.
Yeah, I get too frustrated. Like I want to be good at this, and how do you get practice when you're dead all the time?
Yeah, like I remember seeing, I think Nick Merckx, he went on a rant one time and he was talking about Fortnite, and he was like, people wonder why they're not good, but they're not spending hours in creative mode, which is like a practice area. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm not going to spend hours in creative mode. That is not something I want to do. Yeah. But I'm also not trying to be a professional gamer, so it makes sense.
What I will say is, back in the day, I was everyone I know my age who played Madden seriously did do all the practice drills.
Really?
Like they were just they made them so that it was like genuinely enjoyable. Like you weren't like running practice throwing, like it wasn't like 11 on 11 or anything like that. It was like, no, you're running the ball. There's 2 defenders. You have to run through pads and stuff like that. Like they made it fun. But yeah, everyone I know who played Madden back then played practice. There's like 03, 04, 05 around then. But they took it out of the game. And so, yeah, practice in Madden right now, it'd be chaos. People in 2K go to the open gym a lot too and practice still, which I have no time for.
That was my gamer tag. Mercarabis with a K.
I once put my gamer tag out on publicly. One a really bad decision.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
Yeah, people like I would be playing, and it's just constant. And Coley can understand this because they always they put up like a banner notification every time someone invites you to a game or something. Literally just endless, the entire time I'm playing. So now I'm on every time I'm on, I realize that PS4 at least, I'm sure PS5 has it too. You can show everyone you're offline even when you're on, and so I just never on anymore because of that.
What's your gamer tag?
I'm not going to say that again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just in case I happen to go online again, I don't need that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can mute those notifications too, just so they don't pop up.
You could.
I haven't attempted, but yeah, it was just kind of annoying.
Yeah, I think
Very appreciative.
Of course,
very appreciative.
a lot of
that
people want to
everyone
play
plays
games with Pat Light. That's you're a man of the people.
Yeah, man of people.
All right. Okay, so Christmas. Are we doing a show next week? I know we don't have ads. We're technically off.
I'll do it for the ads.
I don't do it for the ads either.
Do it for the people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down to do a show next week.
I'm available.
Hey, let's face it, could be my last week of employment at Barstool Sports.
I was just gonna say if you didn't do a show next week, and we be saying thank you, Jared, just in case.
Maybe. I would love a thank you, Jared tribute next week.
Yeah, next week we can do awards and say goodbye to Jared forever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it was definitely way more somber on starting 9. Dallas does not think, he's not very optimistic about the situation. I have a little bit more optimism that something will get done than he does. But
so let me ask you this question.
Sure.
In this type of situation, because I've never been in this type of situation before, this type of situation, is there a deadline and then it's over, or can you theoretically just stop doing the show until, let's say, January 15th, and then you can sign a deal? Could it extend, or is there a firm deadline? Okay, we're moving on.
Yeah, I mean, if my deal runs up at the end of this month, I mean, not to give away any leverage, but I'll probably still do the show anyway. So,
okay.
Okay.
I wonder if they're going to see through that code.
Yeah, I just like doing it. So I mean, I don't plan on going anywhere, even if we don't figure something out. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But
what if they put you into arbitration?
Oh, I would love to represent myself in arbitration. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to sit in on that.
No, I'll bring Scott.
Oof. That'd be tough.
That'd be tough for them, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You might own Barstool at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm optimistic. It's just there hasn't been a lot of clarity provided in the situation.
Well, listen, as Coley knows, now that he's a major part of the business end of Barstool,
Right.
a ton gets done during the holidays. So
yeah.
a ton. So I would imagine things are going to start moving quickly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see
Best
what
of luck,
happens.
Jared.
Hey, thanks. Either way,
Best of luck.
I'll be back next week, bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And the week after that, we'll see. We'll see what goes down.
Okay.
So it takes 2 to tango, as they say.
As they say.
They do say that.
They do say that.
All right, next week we'll be back. I will be wearing the cane mask for the whole episode. Check out the Section 10 YouTube channel where you can watch me wear that cane mask for the entire episode. Any final thoughts before we go into Christmas? No? Jake?
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Jake. Wow. Merry Christmas to you, pal.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I hope you have a great Christmas with your friends, your family, whoever you're celebrating with. We thank you. I'm not going to say thanks for the end of the year because we're going to do the award show next week, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Section 10 awards next week. All right, stay tuned for that and subscribe to the fucking YouTube channel. We'll be putting out content outside of just the full episodes, other shit that, we'll put Pat's piece on there.
I have to level my thing here. That'll be great for this show.
Yep. I've got some different ideas for stuff that I want to do on the YouTube channel that it's outside the podcast for bonus content. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next week for the Section 10 2021 award show.
Buenas noches, amigos.